Welcome back to the Fast Life Podcast, which is brought to you by Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. For the last 6 years, I have trusted the Simpson brand to keep my head safe out on the open road. Their iconic and aggressive look has always stood out amongst other helmets. Simpson has been continuously providing us with quality-built motorcycle helmets with many different models, finishes, and visor options to fit your taste. Head on over to simpsonmotorcyclehelmets.com where you can find out all you need to know, and go ahead and check these guys out on Instagram at Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. On today's episode, we sit on a beach in Key West, which Key West doesn't have many beaches. And we talked about a lot of things. Big Trouble, Steve Yonkin, and Craig, Mr. Tampon Turbo. Talked a little bit about the Down South campout. It's not necessarily a recap of the campout, but, you know, we just talked about a lot of different stuff, and we had fun out there. So if you hear the background noise, that's waves crashing and a couple drunk people walking up to us. So anyway, let's get into these sponsors and we'll jump right in this episode. Our longest running podcast supporter, Lexin Moto, and our Bluetooth headset of choice here at the Fast Life since 2019 is still here providing you with one of the best Bluetooth headsets on the market, the G16, which I personally use on my motorcycle rides to check out everything from my favorite playlists to my favorite podcast. The battery life and sound quality is amazing on these headsets. Earlier this year, Lexin dropped the Smart Tire Pump, which became an instant everyday carry for many people on motorcycle trips. Well, now they have refined and taken the pump to new levels with the Lexin Smart Tire Pump Gen 2, which now offers an internal cooling fan, is 20% smaller in design, and can double as a portable charger while you're away from civilization. Pair these great products with some of the best customer service in the industry and head on over to lexin-moto.com and drop the Fast Life offer code to save yourself 15% off your order. And don't forget to give these guys a follow on Instagram at Lexin Moto. If you have seen any of my personal bikes in person or on the gram over the past 6 years, you will definitely notice my ongoing support for Lucky Dave's. Their seats have always fit my ass perfectly and had the style profile I prefer in the 2-up seat game. I have ran the San Diego bars on my FXR and Dynas for years. Now I currently run the Peacemaker bar and riser series on my 2020 Road Glide. These bars are dope with many options to customize the appearance as well as get you dialed at the right height and hand position. I would go as far to say that the Lucky Dave's riser bar is one of the most comfortable bars on the market, no matter what risers you put them in. Check out all the options for your ride at luckydaves.com and give these guys a follow to stay up on product releases and inventory restocks on the gram at Lucky Daves.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Fast Life Podcast.
Relaxed podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking relaxing out here, man.
We're sitting in a goddamn Corona commercial
Dude, where's Snoop Dogg at when you need him?
with Martha Stewart cooking some shit.
Hadn't he been doing those Corona commercials lately?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been on. With what's the comedian's name? Sandberg.
Is that who it is?
Andy Samberg?
Yeah, where they're doing like a little rapping.
Oh, yeah. Andy. Lonely
Andy
Island.
Yeah, Andy Samberg.
No, that's nice.
Adam Sandler's son.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you. I know it's hard to be still in a place like Key West, but, you know, we're doing it out here on the beach,
Yep.
right near the beach. How do you kick off a podcast like this?
Crack a beer.
Shots. I'm just smoking this joint, so that'll help.
Yeah, it's in a second to get all these audios right and shit. But, well, we're all here in Key West. Mr. Tampon Turbo over here.
Tarpon.
Tarpon. Oh, my bad. Always dyslexia. Brought us all down to the Down South campout, and we had a blast. And then we continued on south to Key West. And this was one of those things I've been wanting to do almost every year. Whenever I say I'm going to the Down South campout, I immediately think about coming to Key West. And then, you know, that long Florida ride just always, you know, makes it harder. But Mark Norton over here, he called me out on it basically and made me stick to it. And here we are. And I've actually really, really enjoyed this being here. So
We might have to make this an annual thing.
an anal thing?
Yep.
But man, we got Craig here, we got Yonkin, Smithy, and Big Trouble himself. And dude, Yonkin, fortunately there was an anomaly at the camp out this year. Some dude had a 10,000-mile ride in or some shit, but
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Honestly.
he
He's
didn't
from
know.
like Germany
He
or
didn't know
something,
that
right?
He was, yeah.
Canada, I thought.
Canada, something like that. Somewhere in the country.
No, he was from
European.
Yeah, he come
was
from
definitely
somewhere.
European.
Yeah. So that was wild. But
New Zealand.
Is that it? You
Nice.
think you rode all the way here?
Yep.
Oh, way.
How did so Yonkin, what made you want to like you've told me a story, but I thought that story was really badass. So maybe you could tell the podcast.
I mean, honestly, like whenever I decided to go to Daytona Fall Fest or whatever it's called, Fall Bike Week, Oktoberfest,
Biketoberfest.
Okay.
Were you even there?
I was
Is
there,
this all a lie?
and it's not a lie. Yeah, I decided to go there. Rode down, and I'd never been to Panama, so I was gonna go there after. Well, then
How was Biketoberfest?
being with the right people was cool, but other than that, it is what it is.
Like, how does it compare in size?
I would say it's
small.
about 20,
A quarter?
Yeah, it's small.
25%
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the most, comparatively speaking to.
Yeah, it's
Bike
pretty
Week.
calm. But then, like I said, I've never been to Panama, so my plan was just to go to Biketoberfest and Panama Bike Week or whatever they call theirs, Thunder Rally or Thunder
Yeah.
Beach.
And I think you hit me up from there to clarify the rules of the gump.
Yeah, because at that time I was on the road for, I don't know, I think we went there for 4 days to Biketober, and
Yeah.
then I think I went to Panama for 4 days.
Yeah.
Then to Louisiana.
No, I went to Biloxi, Mississippi from there.
That's right.
Yeah. Panama is when. So Kyle was with you, right? Instead of having Kyle.
Yeah, so he actually, I don't know if he like what it was, but he hit me up and he's like, dude, I'm standing by your bike. I'm in Panama City too.
Yeah.
And he was actually, I think, just on his way
To Texas.
to Born Free or something.
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
That's right. He was.
Yes, and he was just a stopping point for him, and wherever he ended up stopping, he saw my bike and called.
So Steve called me from Panama City. He's already been on the road close to 2 weeks, and he said, and this is about 2 weeks before the camp out, and he said, so if I go home, if I touch foot at home, my Gump miles would reset for the Gump Award. And I said, yeah, if you go home, it resets. He said, fuck it, I'm going to Key West. I'm staying on the road another 2 weeks, and I'm getting that Gump Award. And then what he did after that was just fucking nuts.
That was pretty crazy because I knew you were south. I knew you were in Panama because Kyle told me, and then just following your Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you hit me up. So yeah, keep going. Like,
Yeah, like I said, it was one of them things that went to Panama. My time there was over, and I ended up going to Biloxi, Mississippi. I think I spent 3 nights there, just at a resort or whatever, hanging out. And then I left there, went to New Orleans. First time for that.
What'd you think about it?
New Orleans, it was a good time. I mean, I got to experience it and stuff, so I would definitely go back and like party or whatever. But the riding there, the roads are terrible.
Yeah.
Like the roads are garbage. I think I almost got hit twice in like a 15-mile-an-hour zone. Like people just don't look there. But yeah, New Orleans is cool. I was supposed to be there for a few extra days, and I seen Tommy at Texas Dyna posted something about a bike night in Texas. So I hit him up because I really didn't have a trip plan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just kind of winging it at this point. And he had a bike night or whatever, and I just kind of wanted to support him in his event. So it's like a little over 600 miles. I rode to Texas, hit his bike night. We stayed there that night and stuff, did all that. And he even asked me, he's like, so what are you going to do? And I said, I think I'm going to leave tomorrow and just head towards like Dallas, like up towards that end of Texas.
Yeah.
Because his thing was in Austin. And, go meet up for Tony's bike show or whatever he had going on, or his stunt show. And, but I woke up in the morning, I was like, you know what? I've never been to New Mexico. I'm only 600 miles away.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to ride to New Mexico. And
Why'd you pick Hobbs, New Mexico?
Because it was one of them things. I thought I was just going to go to
there's
Tony's
nothing
bike
there.
show. No, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's like a big welding town or whatever you
Yeah,
want to call
well.
it. And I kind of thought that I was going to go to Tony's bike or stunt show after that. So I just wanted to kind of touch foot in New Mexico because I'd never been there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of cut towards like the bottom middle from Austin.
Yeah, yeah.
And that way I could just kind of cut back across towards like Sherman where his event was. So I booked 2 nights at a hotel or whatever there, and I think I got there real late one night or something. I rode through a shitty ass storm to get there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, crazy winds, getting pelted with like tumbleweeds off the side of the road and stuff. And the next morning I woke up, there was actually a pause in the rain and stuff, so I was like pissed, like I'm just gonna get out of here. So I left and I decided, I'd never been to California, so I cut over to San Diego and I rode I think it was like 983 miles. I straight shotted it over. And I spent a couple of days out there, and I went to
San Diego Harley?
well, yeah, they did a service for me while I was out there. But I can't remember the name of the town. It's like the furthest west-south of California.
San Diego, right?
Yeah, but it's like a smaller thing, like Tijuana or Tia something slow or something like that.
Yeah.
And I went there and kind of hung out for a couple of days. What is it?
Temecula.
No,
Nah.
that's further north.
I got it on my phone.
Did you link up with Papa Juan while you were there?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, that was someone else that I saw.
No, honestly, when I went there, like I said, I had no intention of doing any of this stuff. So from
Yeah, it was
basically
all short notice.
after I left Tommy's show, like I was on my own, and went there. I went out exploring and stuff like that. And like I said, I stopped at San Diego Harley. I had him do a service on my bike at that time because I was like 3,500 miles or something in on the trip.
Yeah.
And then I left there, and I think I decided to go to Vegas. I went and spent a couple nights in Vegas. I have some friends that live out there.
You met the Buddy the Elf I saw.
Yeah.
That was
met
wild, yeah.
Chamberlain was out there, so we hung out, and he was for Halloween dressed as Buddy the Elf, and he
God.
played it very well.
I love
That was the best
amazing.
reel.
Dude, I'm
I
telling you.
love that he did that, but I just like in my mind I'm like, where'd you come up with that? Just I'm gonna go to Vegas and dress like Buddy the Elf and have a costume that fits him and everything. It was pretty gnarly.
Okay, so that town out in California is Tijuana Slow.
Okay.
And nail all the funny things he does in the movie.
Yeah, like trying to go up the escalator. and shit.
Escalator, the round.
Well,
about
like
turn thing.
people like Santa, they yell. Well, they're
Yeah.
yelling Buddy, and Steve played into it so well. Like, your face is pretty. It should be on a Christmas card. He's yelling at people and stuff. Like, he ran with it, and like he had a blast doing it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I spent a night there with them guys and stuff.
So from the moment you left, let's just say Austin, which part would you say you enjoyed the most riding wise?
Honestly, I would say going through Arizona,
Uh-huh.
like on the way out to California and stuff like that, because I hit like the Texas Canyon stuff out through there.
Mhm.
The scenery out there was just amazing. But you definitely have to play the gas stops. I don't know what highway
Yeah,
I was on, but
Probably
like,
on 8, I would think, if you were out west.
yeah, like they're few and far between out there. So I mean, when you get to one, you got to fill up. But yeah, like I said, that scenery and stuff was amazing. And then when I left Vegas, I cut through like the Hoover Dam, like the part of the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool experience.
Go with the Pat Tillman Bridge.
Yeah, like I
So
said, I just kind of winged everything. I have nothing planned out, so whatever GPS kind of.
Did you actually go down into the? Because you can ride down in and go
No,
across.
I
the
didn't. I
Hoover.
just like cut through.
Okay,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, because there's a walkout point where you can park your bike and then walk out on that Pat Tillman Bridge and shit.
Yeah,
and,
that's
see
just it.
all
Like
the
this
shit.
whole thing was totally unplanned.
Yeah.
To where I didn't have a time to pick things I wanted to do, and I just kind of winged everything.
Yeah, because you told me you were headed to Dallas to stay with me, and you pretty much just hauled ass from there. A late halt, like you.
Yeah,
you-
yeah. Vegas won. So I planned on being on the road by like 8 in the morning. I don't think I left the hotel till like 12:30 or 12 o'clock or something.
yeah.
And then it got like freakishly cold cutting through. I think it was like it was around Albuquerque or something.
Oh yeah, Albuquerque. Yeah.
And I ended up grabbing a room. Like I didn't do anywhere near the miles I wanted to do because I just got cold. And I grabbed the room. I think I did like 500 miles. I think it was like 1250 to your place or something. And I grabbed the room. And now, mind you, like I said, this whole thing I was unprepared. So I didn't have the proper gear or anything. I
Yeah.
woke up in the morning. It was 30 degrees. And I literally just layered on clothes that I had in my bag.
Mm.
And then I rode for I don't know how many hours until I got, it started warming up and stuff.
You just start peeling some of the layers off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got nice then, a couple hours into it. But that first hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, it was, it was
Pretty
cold.
rough, yeah. What yeah, and then you came to the Dallas, and like I said, we rode out and met up with the guys. Now that's cool, man. Like that's got to be.
Yeah, this whole thing, like I said, is a total whim. It turned into a big bucket list trip.
Yeah.
You know, I got to check a few things off. Like I said, I never went coast to coast, so I did that.
I still haven't done that, so that's badass.
Now I'm, sitting in Florida Keys. I've never been. I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
Southernmost podcast in the U.S. right now.
Yeah. So that's another check off. Never been to New Orleans. There's another one. Arizona. Like I said, like there's a lot of stuff. That,
A lot of bucket lists on
yeah.
there. At least
It's been cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like,
And surprisingly, I'm not home yet. I probably shouldn't jinx this, but bike did amazing.
mhm.
I had one little hiccup with the exhaust, but other than that, it's been great.
Yeah, I wonder what because you did this trip. Kyle also did not as long as you're doing now, but a long trip as well.
Yeah, he
When
was on the
went-
road for some time.
Yeah, doing
Couple
all those
weeks.
things.
Yeah.
And like it, we did that in June. Being on the road for like almost a month and whatnot. But
Yeah, I think like when I get home, it'll be just a couple days shy of a month.
I wonder how that plays into like, how do you feel about this? The amount of time you've been on the road now, compared to the many trips that you've already done. Sturgis, Dallas, campouts, and shit like that.
I mean, like honestly,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
Like it's one of them things that like, it's awesome experience and stuff like that, but a month's a long time.
Yeah.
The miles and stuff. I didn't do a ton of miles. I think by the time I get home, it'll be like just over 7,000.
Yeah.
But 30 days away,
Yeah.
it's time. you
Yeah.
know.
Just getting back. To,
Even if I go home for 2 or 3 days and sit there and I'll be like, dude, this sucks. I'm gonna hop on my bike and ride somewhere. But I mean, just to get home for that couple couple
reset.
days or exactly.
Yeah. Get a different pair of shoes.
Yeah, living out of hotel rooms, tents,
Yeah.
doing laundry and
Did you leave your tent at the down south?
I did. So
I saw that.
so I actually, like I said, this whole thing was
He bought it for the down
unprepared.
south and left that bitch there.
Yeah.
So you've done that almost every year, right?
What's that?
Left a tent.
No, the first year I slept in a tent there, I left my air mattress, and I think Ben Gurton took it.
Yeah.
And the next year I stayed in the cabin, and then this year, like I said, it was unplanned. I actually called Millhouse, and because he was taking the Thunder Max fan down or whatever, and I Amazoned a tent, an air mattress, and a sleeping bag to his house so he could haul it there for me.
Nice.
Nice.
And then like I said, I was like $100 into it, so I just kind of left it there because I had nowhere to put it to take it home.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper than a hotel.
Yeah, I mean that's really what I
Yeah, for
figured.
2 nights. Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I donated to the
It's
campground
gonna
down
be.
there.
It'll be there next year.
Oh, I
Someone will be
guarantee it.
living in it.
Yeah, for
He-
sure.
He also made it to Floribama, so you got the whole.
Oh yeah, that
down
was
south
another thing.
experience.
I never
Oh,
did
yeah.
that before.
I had fun again in Floribama this year.
That's a cool spot.
Yeah.
It really is a cool spot.
I was super disappointed though in the fish place we went to eat at. You were with us, right? Yeah.
The seafood.
Yeah, the seafood.
Oh, yeah.
Because all we were talking about the whole day was getting like snow crabs and lobsters and shit.
Well, yeah,
And then
they
we
even
get-
advertised like world's greatest shrimp or something. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no good.
We went to a step up from a Long John Silver's.
Yeah.
But the drinks were pouring pretty hard at Floribama, so it was a good time. So
That they
that was the drunkest I got this entire trip.
I'd say last
per
night was
usual.
my drunkest in 30 days.
Yeah, last night was my
That was
drunkest
probably
too.
that was probably my drunkest. I mean,
Yeah.
I paced myself during the camp out. I got pretty drunk during Floribama, but last night, yesterday, me and Steve tied one on here in Key West.
Yeah. Is that it?
yeah.
My
So-
brain's still broken.
Mark, why do you have such a draw to this place? Because Mel's told me, everybody's told me how much you love being here in Key West. Like, what is it for you?
It's hard to put a finger on. There's I've been coming here for probably 10, 12 years. Not a lot though,
Yeah.
in the past 10 or 12 years, maybe 6 or 7 times, but they've always been watermarks in my
Yeah.
life for something or another, and thankfully they've all been good ones. And for this, us coming down this week and doing it was just to ride in with you guys and
Yeah.
experience something with you guys that I enjoyed, and hoping that y'all would get the same enjoyment out of it.
Oh,
And
for sure.
it's been really fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It was I mean, I was telling this straggler earlier. I was taking pictures of the bikes, and he rolled up and was like, "Hey, is that a Harley?" And so I was like, I had that moment, that meme where the guy's like holding his head and there's 2 buttons, be an asshole. or talk back to him or
Right.
whatever. You know what I mean? But no, I talked to him. He was super cool, as most people probably are. So I should stop being an asshole. And yeah, I just like I was talking to him, and as I'm talking to him, I was forming my opinion about Key West. You know what I mean? Because I was finally saying it, and when I was forced to say it, I was like, yeah, like I realized like I'm more of a mountain guy, like mountains. I like the idea of being in the mountains and the I guess the idea of it being more desolate. You know what I mean? Less people, that kind of vibe. But this place in particular, even though it's not necessarily a sandy beach kind of place, even though we're on one right now, it's a different vibe for like a tropical island feel. if that
Yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
completely so. From North Florida in Jacksonville, where I live, or even the campout in Inglis.
That's just as beautiful, I think.
You know,
Agree to disagree.
those, but I mean that kind of plant life and all the stuff that you see there. Lots of oak trees and thick forest. You know, you're riding
Yeah.
down some of these roads and you can't see 4 feet off the road.
Dude, it's so thick.
Yeah, it's
Some of the Everglades we rode through. I was like,
claustrophobic almost. You know.
yeah.
But then you start the further south you get, especially about the time you get to Fort Lauderdale, but definitely coming into the Keys, you realize it's like a whole different part of the country, you know,
Yeah.
even compared to North Florida. It's the plant life's different. Obviously, there's iguanas running down the street,
Yeah. Chickens.
chicken roosters everywhere.
The chicken thing's cool as hell, though.
It is.
Yeah, it is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chickens are fucking
Hell, we
cool.
ate breakfast this morning. They're just like walking through the restaurant, pigeons and
Same
stuff,
with
like
us.
just hanging out, you know, doing their thing.
Me and Steve went and got a couple cocks tattooed on our foot today.
We did.
Is that the end of that story, too?
Always leave them wanting more, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's I mean, you know, my whole purpose, I guess what I really wanted to do by coming down here was to take pictures. And I did really want to spend more time walking the streets, because when we walked the streets today after we left brunch, I just kicking myself in my ass like, why didn't I bring my camera?
Yeah.
You know, we went and checked out the Hemingway house, and that was super rad, and made me want to look into him more and his life. And just being in his house, and everything was so fucking old, but oh man, that was a vibe. Like I like that a lot. And then walking down the street and seeing that the architecture here is so, it's pretty rad, but it's like it's also like everything's like bright, and then the green from the vegetation everywhere, or the plant life, is just, it's such a contrast in color. And then there'll be this one bright pink fucking bush. And I know it's a motorcycle podcast, right?
It's a traveling podcast, too.
Yeah, but it's like it's just, it's soothing to look at almost. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is a major tourist town, but you don't feel like you're in Vegas. You know what I mean? You
No,
don't feel like you're
no.
in a trashy.
You almost
You
get like in
know-
that mood, like that feeling, that, like, I don't know, like relaxed as
Right,
soon as you
it's
stroll in
definitely-
and stuff, you know?
It's definitely a couple of paces slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, big time.
And that's a nice feeling. You know?
And there's no crime, really. There's nobody running games on anybody. Like
No.
a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
vacation places you go that they're just trying to get one over
like-
on you and
Yeah, I
take
mean,
money
Like,
from
one
you
bar
somehow.
down there with like all the money and stuff taped up. It's
Right.
open, completely open. Like this morning, it was closed when we went like to walk
But you
past
can
Brandon.
grab a couple $. If you need
You
it.
can grab whatever you want. Like there's liquor just sitting at the bar, and there's
Yeah.
nothing closed
Well,
off.
even the
Yeah.
one art place we were in today, there was a painting sitting in the doorway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you could have walked by. But I mean, you think about the difference between New Orleans
Oh yeah.
and this, and
Yeah.
the people on the street hustling and so on and so
Exactly.
forth. You don't really have too much of that here.
I mean, there's
Hell
not
no.
even like poor people here.
There
There was one. Steve threw a drink at him.
It slipped. It totally slipped.
Get out of here, fucking poor bastard. Oh, it does
Tyrone.
have that vibe here, though. Like there's not a. I'm sure there's an area everywhere, but it doesn't have that vibe where you have a small place of nice surrounded by shit. This feels like it's all nice,
Yeah.
and there's probably a block or two of shit somewhere.
Of course.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
there's some blighted areas, but
Like
it's
that?
it's
Blighted. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's
Nice.
it's spotty. You know.
What me and Steve like were talking about this morning, walking down the street. We were like the first ones out this morning at before 8 a.m. And you could eat off the streets. It's so clean. I mean, they blow off all the sidewalks at night. They wash them with water and street sweepers, and it's just like perfectly done. Everywhere we were, there were people painting all the fences and buildings, and just like everything was so clean
and
I'm
upkept
like,
real well.
You don't see that a lot of like especially places with the history that Key West has.
It's basically a party town. You
It's
know
a
what I mean?
party town, but it's
So, yeah, for how clean it
they
is,
keep
it's
it
crazy.
really clean.
Well, we were in the Hemingway house, and I was reading something on one of the plaques about how this place got hit really hard with the Depression and was really one of the first tourist-attracted places that was kind of created.
Yeah, that's how the mayor kind of bailed the
economy
is by making it touristy.
Now, that's cool, man. Like, I wouldn't mind if there was more areas like this beach stuff, but I think that's what also brings the more people.
Yeah.
Because that's the free thing to do, right?
Well, this
Exactly.
Stay home.
where we're
pores.
sitting now is certainly a beach, but
Yeah.
the white sand that we're sitting on is not.
Yeah,
They
you
put it
said
here.
this is
They
all
put it
kind
here.
of
Oh,
imported.
this was mangroves.
Yeah.
100 years ago.
And that's what's weird, like coming through the Keys in general. It's like you see the water's like a tealish green color because it's so shallow and whatnot. But at the same time, like you don't see beaches really. You just see trees and then they stop and then it's water. And it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm just like conditioned to think that everywhere it's either a beach or a cliff before it's water. You know what I mean? It's never
Right,
like
and you realize a lot of that stuff that we're looking at, especially when the water changes like from green to crystal blue, it's a lot of the stuff we were riding over is shallow, you know?
Yeah, you were saying that when you fly into here, they kind of fly the plane lower so you could see into the water more.
Well, they start lowering down to once they get to
Yeah.
the Keys, and you can see.
Yeah, it's probably not like massively intentional, but just because they have to start getting lower.
So you can see schools of fish and sharks and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff from the just coming in landing.
What about the other keys, like the Marathon, Largo? Is that where the Poors live? Or
Well, yes.
yes.
But also, there's Marathon's they have a lobster season here, and Marathon's the big key for lobster season. So you got a lot of sport fishermen, divers coming in and taking over that whole key. And there's tons of keys we pass. They're just really small,
Yeah, there are so many keys.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, like I've been down here lobstering in Key Largo before too, and they have all these reefs out there. Like the John Petty Camp Reef is out there that has a 12-foot tall Christ of the Abyss, like 11 feet underwater. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But Key West is where you come to party. All the rest of them is where you catch the charter boats and go out fishing and family vacations and beaches and resorts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Key West is just where you get the cocaine, basically.
What about you were telling us some stories coming in, Mark, about how a lot of people live on these little houseboats down here that are like running from something.
Yeah.
in life.
So I was, being in the business that I'm in, you kind of start realizing here there's houseboats out here that don't have motors on them. They're just floating in these little mangroves, and there's a lot of illegals. You know what I mean? Not only just people from different parts of the world, but people from this country that are hiding out. And you couldn't get on one of those boats unless you wanted to swim over to it, or
you'd have to get a boat yourself and try to corner it in and shit.
It's fucking martial law out there in those mangroves. You know. So it'd be a good place to hide if you wanted to hide.
Yeah, and how does that work? Like, if you just have a houseboat and you just kind of float around, like, is that like sovereign kind of waters, or how does that work?
Sovereign waters would be like international waters,
Yeah.
which is like 5 miles out. But if you're not bothering nothing, I mean, but the thing is, like the Coast Guard and the police, they can just board you for no reason. And,
For sure.
And just check you. It's not like a car; they have to have a reason to pull you over.
Yeah.
They can just be like, "Oh, we're just checking life jackets" or whatever the fuck they want to say. So, if they're looking for somebody, they can like go around looking for stuff. But they have much bigger fish to fry down here than a DUI or something. They got drug runners coming in the middle of the night on go fast boats, and And
Yeah, especially this
Cubans, sneaking in all the time. So, did you say you saw a boat out here?
Yeah, we did. When
Mark said he
we
saw.
were down here in May. One of these piers, we actually I think I have a picture. Jetty has the picture of a makeshift boat with a.
You said like a Chevy V8 engine?
I think it had like an inline.
It was like a car, but they dropped the drive shaft in the water under the
Yeah.
barge,
And
and
so-
then put a prop on it.
It was
And the
a-
drive shaft spins, and it.
A lot of
Drive the car
styrofoam,
here.
a lot of plywood and styrofoam. It was like it wasn't a real boat. You know what I mean? It was like,
But it's only 90 miles.
yep,
90
and
miles to Cuba,
and it was full of like canned meat and crackers and shit. So you could tell when they pulled up and hit that pier.
Where were the crackers going?
They don't have to run.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
they're allowed to be here.
It's pretty interesting though to see. You could see their supplies and their water jugs and their gas jugs and which were just milk jugs. Yeah.
Man,
But they had enough. They had enough to get here.
I couldn't imagine like being like the desperation to get across, a body of water like
To
this.
get away from your communist country and
Yeah.
to get to freedom.
And if you get caught, you're not.
Yeah, it's not Mexico. They don't
Yeah.
say, "Oh, Frank, got you again." Go back home.
Yeah,
We'll
you
see
go to jail
tomorrow."
if they catch you there.
That's wild. For over 50 years, the Ness family has provided us with top quality custom motorcycle parts. And today's product line is better than ever, offering you products to enhance your motorcycle's performance and the overall look of your bike. With 12 different categories of custom air cleaners, Arlen Ness has a filter that will fit your budget and or your taste. I'm currently running the Method air cleaner on my 20 Road Glide, along with their one-of-a-kind Method No Flex front fork legs and bagger fork guards, which allow me to show off my Arlen Ness gold fork tubes. It's really sick. From custom handlebars and rims to bodywork and foot controls, head on over to arlenness.com to start getting the parts you need to enhance your motorcycle experience. And as an added bonus to Ness's well-stocked product line, you can use offer code in all caps FASTLIFE10 to save yourself 10% on your purchases. And it's always free shipping on orders over $100. And lastly, give these guys a follow on the gram at Arlen Ness Motorcycles. Yeah, I don't know, man. This place is cool. We have, when we left it down south, Steve and Mark and I, we made it to, what was it, Florida
Homestead.
City, Homestead.
Florida
Yeah.
City, yeah, Homestead.
And we rode through the Everglades, and that was pretty rad. Even though I wanted to see an alligator so fucking bad, and we passed two, and Yonkin found him, Steve found him. And I was looking so fucking hard, and I can't believe I missed him. You said you saw a 10-foot one-ish?
Say the one was good 10 to 12. The other one, I don't know, maybe 4.
Man, I want to see those ones where like they're walking across the road and shit.
Yeah.
I want one of
You
those.
should go
Like,
back to English, Florida. They're all over there.
no way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those freshwater.
They're in
lakes.
every body of water in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida. Yeah, it's probably less. Obviously, in the Everglades, there's tons, but
They have more places to hide in the
yeah,
Everglades.
but you could find one where Craig lives. You could find one in a pond, in a retention pond in a McDonald's parking lot. They're just everywhere. Same in Jacksonville.
They're not fast though, are they?
Yeah, they can
fast as
scoot.
fuck.
They
Yeah.
can sprint.
Yeah.
for a little
And they
bit.
jump too, like
Shortly.
they lunge. You know what I mean? They can. I think it's like half their body or something, right?
They can run. I don't want
I
to say
think
the
they can
miles
run
per
like
hour
20, 25 miles an hour
for about 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, for very short.
You
but
can't.
fast
None
enough
of us
to
can
get
do
you.
that. So,
I mean, I can run 25 miles an hour.
but yeah.
Hey, I don't have to run
For
faster than
15
a gator. I
feet.
Yeah.
have to run faster than the slowest person here. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't think they could run that fast.
Yeah, they got
Because
a
if they
little-
could run that fast, I don't think people would be coming
like I
up on
said,
it.
they can't keep it up. It's just for
They're cold-blooded, so that takes a long time to build that battery. But that battery, they can shoot it off real quick, and then they need a couple hours to recover from that shit.
Oh, okay.
yeah. They do a lot of just sitting still and
Sunbathing,
recharging and
charging.
sunbathing. So
Oh, shit, I know
They're
that.
interesting. I mean, they can be in the water, and it'll be
they won't even move.
10 degrees outside, and they can survive underwater for like days and come up very rarely for air and just still stay alive, but their heart rate just drops to almost nothing. I mean, they're like one of the only things that survived like the dinosaur extinction.
Yeah. That's pretty rad. Like, that's probably the other weird thing is like when you travel the country a lot, you know you get in these different areas and the wildlife, you know, like you guys see iguanas everywhere, and you know you've seen alligators many times, but shit, you know, I don't. So when I see that iguana in the street yesterday, I'm like,
oh, you did see one? I knew you
yeah,
were
there was a
looking
big
for
I
orange.
haven't seen no
yellow
big one, just that one at the gas station.
Well, yeah. Yeah, where the one that the people almost hit it on the golf cart and everybody screamed.
Oh, that's when we split off from y'all. We were
Thursday,
walking back
yeah.
to our bikes. It was a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's pretty too. It looked like a goddamn pack of Skittles.
There's
Right.
there's tons of them. Like some of them, you'll see it down here. Steve and I saw one at the gas station. It was smaller, but some of them be really big and orange and white,
Yeah.
orange and black. It's odd.
Yeah, that's weird because I think of iguanas, I think it's green ones and shit.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I would think
I've
like the
never seen one
orange
like
ones
that.
are just kind of like dirty ones, you know.
Somebody spray paint that one?
Motherfucker got graffiti on the side of them. It's been hanging out in Miami.
It just says Crips on it. 305.
The Bloods. No, but
People do eat them down here too.
Yeah, I've heard
really?
iguana
They call 'em
tail
chicken
is
of the tree.
is a thing.
Can you like actually do that?
Yeah,
Like,
the tail. I mean, you can. I mean.
is it like a season?
Oh,
like, do you have to have
no,
a license?
no,
like, you just
I
grab
mean,
one and
I
eat it?
think
Like,
that's
I don't
again,
know.
that's something for the pores. I'm just saying,
pores.
it's done.
so another interesting thing is the chickens down here. Like, what's the story behind that?
You know, I don't really know the origin of the story. I know that if you go online, you can look at images of when they have hurricanes here. They, like the joint we were at, all four at this morning, Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
They catch those chickens and they wrap them in a newspaper with their feet in the bottom of it and their head sticking out the top, and they rubber band the newspaper to to keep them from getting killed in the hurricane. So
Yeah.
you can look online and see pictures of like stacks of chickens that are just
Yeah.
bound by newspaper and rubber bands. Pretty
We saw a
interesting.
cockfight yesterday.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
real.
we did.
Me
Y'all
and,
can have one with your
Steve
feet
in the
now.
parking
Yeah,
lot.
right.
Yeah, right.
Toe poke, yeah.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, when people would say like, "Oh, there's chickens everywhere," like you never really know what everywhere means. Like to one person, everywhere might be like, "Oh, there's like a chicken here and there." Like, no, they're every fucking where.
I mean, for the most part, too, they're calm. Like, they're not
Yeah.
scared of
Oh,
the
yeah,
people.
Yeah,
no,
they'll,
they're
they'll
used- that's-
almost eat out of
Except
your
for
hand.
that one yesterday. I could not catch that thing. I chased it all around that parking lot.
Like a scene from Rocky.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say Rocky, but back in the day, in the ships, they used to keep pigs and chickens, and they would just keep them alive on the boat, and then they would kill them and eat them as they wanted to. And this was like a shipping lane for pirates and clipper ships and all that stuff back then. So they probably started back then just letting them out on shore, and they've probably been here ever since. Just from all the ships and stuff. Because I mean, pigs aren't even native to North America. They were brought over by Columbus, and then we just have pigs everywhere now, like overrunning the population in like every area.
Yeah.
But chickens, probably guarantee that's how it originated here anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
they definitely take care of the chickens. They're not just.
And they take care of the bugs and all that other
Yep.
shit too.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
and those chickens eat good here.
Yeah, they eat well.
Everybody likes them. They really embrace the rooster lifestyle around
See
here.
that?
Like everything
Yeah, I
is
just saw
kind of.
We just saw a
rooster
shooting star
based.
on the podcast, so or some space garbage, one or the other.
I guess we got 2 stars on this podcast.
Craig with the dad jokes all weekend. But no, the chicken thing is cool, and the other thing is the cats, right? Like it's more prominent at the Hemingway house, but
It is.
Even around like that Blue Haven that we had brunch this morning, they had a couple cats running around, and you see them on the streets, and then
Also, they all look like they're indoor cats. They're all so healthy and big. There's some
they
big ass
don't, they don't let
cats.
them
Yeah, they
hanging
eat
out.
chickens.
Yeah, yeah. Funny enough, we were talking about that very thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, why don't the cats fuck these chickens up? And then this cat like ran up a tree like he was chasing like a iguana or some shit up a tree. And no, it's oh man, I don't know. Just that like it's part of a culture here, and so like when you're here, you're almost like a student to it. Like I want to know why. Like what is this? What is that? Oh, why do they do that? How did it come to be this place that chickens are? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I definitely learn something new every time.
Yeah.
I come here.
And then you know like being fucking landlocked where I'm at. Like I don't think about islands and the fact that islands don't really have a lot of native species. That most things are brought to it. So when you come to a place like this, and technically it's an island or whatnot, and it's full of all this different wildlife and shit. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And then, like, what was those things that grow on the fucking trees that you were saying that y'all have them in Florida everywhere?
Oh, date
The
palms.
dates?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are those good?
They're a little sour.
Yeah,
Okay.
unless you let them get ripe.
Yeah.
But some people make jelly out of them, and
Oh, yeah.
But you're not ready
Oh, I'm not ready?
For this
you're
jelly.
you
Huh?
for this jelly.
Okay. Don't hurt me, Craig.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
We're not even drinking you still.
Like an hour ago. And then the art district down here is pretty cool. I don't
Yeah.
even know if that's what they call it, but there's like 15 galleries on Duval. And
Yeah.
me and Steve
Yeah,
just
there's a
took
lot.
off today and went to all of them.
Oh, yeah,
We're
a
not
lot of
even art
local
people,
artists.
But we had a blast.
We are now.
Yeah, it was
We-
pretty neat. Some really, really cool stuff. I also figured out that I like photography more than paintings.
Yeah.
I'm like, all these paintings are kind of cool, but the photography blew me away, like the big prints.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is, like, I always try to tell people that, like, when you see photography on a bigger scale, we're just used to looking at it on our phone. So it's like this small thing, but all these pictures that I've gotten this weekend at the campout with Mark here, like they look good on the phone, but man, if you could just see those in like 24 by 36 or something like that,
Yeah.
you would have that kind of feeling. You know what I mean? So those prints that are in those like studio or those art galleries that we walked into earlier, those are like fucking 4 by 8.
Yeah.
They're the size
Yeah.
of plywood and shit, and those are designed to go above your fucking couch somewhere. You know what I mean?
I bought a little entry-level camera a few years ago, and I really haven't touched it much in over a year at all. And it makes me want to pick it up again and just be like, I could have a really badass picture in my living room that I took.
Yeah.
And I've seen it, the ones you do for Justin, my machinist, and Jetty, and the shit they have hanging in their garages and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, those are the dopest shots, and they're such high quality, even blown up.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I could do something like that. Like all the art in my house, instead of being stock photos, could be something I took.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's when we went to wherever.
Well, not just that, like y'all said, becoming an art person, like that's,
Yeah.
some of those artists are like stupid, money, which
Yeah, we saw Salvador Dali originals today, and
yeah,
and
We also saw local artists that had $10,000
yeah.
paintings.
So
know
you
what I
have
mean?
those, but you also have there is no short supply of artists that make cool shit that you can buy for next to nothing, and have like an original thing from an artist that may or may not ever blow up in your house and have real art and not just a bunch of stock photos that came in the Target frame you bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you bought it from a place like this, and be like,
Yeah.
well, it
Well,
would be cooler if I bought it. I mean, shot it.
Yeah, definitely would be. But you gotta, you just gotta have an appreciation for something that's cool. Because to get those shots that we were looking at in that one place,
Oh yeah,
that shit ain't. Yeah,
helicopters and
Yeah.
all that. They were telling us.
yeah, helicopters or climbing mountains to find this one spot and wait
Yeah.
until, like, landscape photography is very lucrative, but it's a very hard thing to capture, to get the shots that people really want to pay for. But the other point I was going to make is that, like, when you go to places like this, or in Vegas and some of the higher end hotels, they'll have some of the some galleries in there as well, because there's a lot of clients, or not clients, but there's a lot of rich people that come to places like this, and then they'll walk in there and see that, and then the chick will be like, I love this, and I want this above our couch. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, send it home. And then he's like, fuck, man, I look good in my man cave. I want that propeller, you know what I mean, or shit like
yeah,
that. So you know, people, a lot of these places, you know, they attract an upper, you know, a more financially able person, so they try to put art in their face, you know,
Yeah.
because they have a better chance of finding a client that can afford it, if that makes sense.
Right.
So,
And you definitely got some folks that are just having a good time and maybe had a little too much to drink and paid a little too much for
no returns.
Yeah, for some wall art. I think there's other people that maybe aren't rich and don't get to go on vacation very often and make their way down here
Yeah.
and want something to remember that by. And you have to admit, a lot of those photos were really cool,
Oh, yeah.
especially the ones like the ones that were obviously taken locally.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, even like just the simplest photo. You know what I mean? Like just a random building or something, or
right?
a shot of the street. You know,
That
with the
shot of
tree
that
and stuff,
spiral
or-
staircase.
4 bungalows in a row that
Yeah.
are all different, like flashy, tropical colors. And
Yeah.
like just pop like crazy. Like
Well,
little
that's
stuff like that.
that's exactly one of the main reasons why I wanted to come here, and why I said earlier how I kind of kicked myself in the ass for not having my camera earlier today, is because this is the kind of place where you can get that kind of photography that someone will buy, because someone living upstate, you know, Pennsylvania, whatever, they want to create an atmosphere in their house, and maybe they're more beach people, and like they want to have that in their bathroom or in their master bedroom or in a hallway. So that was the goal, was to come down here and not just shoot motorcycles, but shoot some of the vegetation, shoot some of the buildings, some of the just local life that's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not good at that stuff. That's why it's more of another shooting star. Fuck, that's 2.
Damn, I didn't see that one.
So that's kind of the point of, like, you know, coming down here was my point was to like practice photography, because things down here are so much more unique looking compared to you know, some of the cities that I have at my fingertips, like Dallas and shit. Our neighborhoods aren't as curated and I wouldn't go as far as say historical as this is, but there's definitely a lot more character in this area than there is in like parts of Dallas and Texas and
Well,
shit.
obviously, there's a lot
This is
more
older.
character here than in other parts of Florida, the rest of Florida.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely different.
I wouldn't mind taking a picture of the building that they shot that scene on Scarface where he chainsaws that motherfucker in the bathroom.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Oh, was that hotel down here or is that Miami?
I think it's Miami.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you meant it was here. I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that was,
Didn't you did a trip to Maine recently, right?
yeah, about 8 weeks ago.
See your grandfather? Was there any other reason, or was that the main?
Both my grandparents are up there, both sides. And all my cousins, and I have a huge family up there. I got a bike up there I keep at my grandpa's. But we had a bachelor party in Savannah. What?
We get it.
I had a bachelor party in Savannah, and I had to still get to Maine to see my grandparents. Because they go every summer. So I was like, well, fuck it. You know, it's only like 1,500 miles from Savannah. I'll just keep going. So I
It's that far.
yeah, I think it's just shy of 2,000 miles. I think from my house to Maine.
Damn.
And so I left, and I enjoyed it, and I dragged my feet, and I went to Staten Island, hung out with Camille and Chelsea one night, and just kind of the last day though, it was like 60 degrees and raining for the last 400 miles, and I was freezing cold, and I get up there, and like for 4 hours I can't warm up, and then I was like, oh shit, I think I'm sick. So I took a COVID test before I went and saw my other grandparents that are a lot more elderly, and sure enough, it was positive. So I basically just quarantined in Maine for a week, and then rode back and did another iron butt by mistake. You know, you just sometimes the weather's good, the temperature's good, and you just get in that groove, and you just keep going, and before you know it, you're like 850, and you're like, well, I might as well do another tank at this point. You know, so just get that last tank in, made it down to Charlotte the first day, and next morning took off and was home early afternoon. But it was a good little trip. Good thing is, even with COVID, you can still like go ride your motorcycle around Maine and enjoy it, and just stay away from people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a total loss, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still don't know for a fact if I legit have COVID or not during Born Free, but
Yeah.
I was not right, and it sucks because everything we just throw it at COVID now. Like, oh, I had COVID. I might have just had a fucking fever or a cold.
Hey, it used to be AIDS.
Yeah. What happened to AIDS? Is that making a comeback, or is that one in the dirt now?
I don't know. They figured it out that.
You know what the weirdest thing I was thinking about today that popped back up in my head? About no, I thought about it yesterday when we were at the other hotel. When we were waking up, we got some juice and shit, and every cup had its own plastic bag.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, I remember when, the whole environmental thing was about like trying to consume less shit, less cups, less plastic, less this. And then COVID happened and all that shit went out the window. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, it went the opposite.
Bag that shit up. Bag everything
masks
up.
in all the river now and shit.
Yeah, and it's fucking disgusting, man. It really is. And it's like that alone, I always like that part of I think a lot of people miss this, but in Anchorman, when they're walking through the park and they're all talking together and then they just throw their big gulps on the ground and make it very obvious. Because I remember that in the 80s that littering was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
You just be driving down the road and see someone launch a fucking McDonald's bag out the window.
Dude, I used to launch a lot of McDonald's bags when I was a teenager. I would just, there was this one spot on the street that it was in front of the nice neighborhood, so they always cleaned it up. So I would just roll down the window and I'd take that turn and nobody could see me. I just, your problem now. But when you're a kid, you don't give a shit about anything. Yeah.
But I'll see someone litter now and I'm like, really? There's literally trash cans everywhere in the world.
Yeah, they
You know
make
what I
it
mean?
pretty easy these days,
I guess maybe it wasn't, trash cans were not widely available back in the day.
Huh.
It's true.
So you just threw it on the ground and out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Y'all remember though? Y'all ever like have those kind of like flashbacks of things from your childhood that you think about that are like just not on the in the cards anymore, not on the table, never happened? I know you got a dad joke coming. I see it in your face.
No. I was just thinking the shit that our parents let us do that they would go to jail for if you let a kid do it now, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how much more bubble wrapped the world is now and how much softer everybody is now when it comes to the kids that grew up in the bubble wrapped world.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a railing on that boardwalk, you'd have 3 dead people a year. But like back in the day, it was just normal not to have railings.
Right.
That is true.
I mean, think about, maybe I'm dating myself here, but everybody already knows. But,
Come on, Paul.
think about the metal slides in parks when you were fucking
yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Not only if something detached would it turn into a razor, it's also 750 fucking degrees on a
Yeah.
metal
Yeah.
slide.
Cook eggs on that
floor,
motherfucker.
Yeah. You don't see any of that anymore.
We used to have those wooden parks everywhere. You know what I mean? Everything was like castle style, like wood parks.
I remember when it changed from metal swings and metal monkey bars and shit like
Yeah.
that to the softer wooden.
I remember riding in my mom's car in the back window.
Yeah.
Lay in the very back.
I think that's one of the things I can say. Seatbelts.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
never
yeah.
fucking wore seatbelts.
I remember
I
when we
crawled
were a kid.
all over the car when I was a kid. you
Oh,
know?
yeah. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, my parents took us on vacation. We went to Ocean City, Maryland.
Uh-huh.
My dad had a Dodge Dakota pickup truck with a cap on it. My brother and I rode
Just
in
got
the,
in the back.
bed of the truck for
Yeah.
6 hours to go to Ocean City, Maryland.
That was a big thing growing up, was riding
Oh,
in
yeah.
beds of trucks.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
But not now.
Is that against
You're
the law
going to
now?
jail.
It's against the law, right?
I mean, I feel like
it-
parts of
you
the places are.
Be
Like
over
it's illegal,
16
but-
Like
or
you
something.
you can't
Yeah,
throw
there's got to be
kids
some
back
fine
there.
print or something with it.
Right.
Yeah. But no, that was always a fun time to ride in the back of the truck. I don't know if I could do 6 hours in the
Yeah,
back of a
but
truck.
it was
y'all
like
ever
they had it
have-
set up, like it was air mattress, and like
Yeah.
we just lounged back there. or
Did
whatever.
y'all ever know anybody who had one of those cars that the very back seat, the wagons
Yeah,
that face
station
backwards?
wagons.
Yeah, the way back.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I didn't have that. But
Yeah,
No, I
like
didn't
you
have
open
one
the
of
back
those either.
trunk and you get in there and you face backwards.
Yeah, it's a
and
little
you just
flip up.
flick people off behind you.
Yeah.
The whole time they're fucking yelling at your
And those
parents,
cars
and you're
back
like, I don't
then-
know, he's crazy, mom.
If you were sitting in the way back in those cars back then, you're literally 9 feet away from whoever's driving. You're way in the fucking
Oh,
back
yeah.
doing your own.
Yeah, you're in your
And
own
they
those
never
jams.
put like the favorite
Oh, you know
back
what?
there.
You
That's
could be
for
back
sure.
there like fucking with girls and shit. You ever?
Yeah, my mom had a conversion van that the very back row kind of faced backwards. It wasn't a real seat, but if we had too many kids in the car, we'd do that, and you just fucking go to blasting.
Finger blasting
Oh,
girls
yeah.
back there.
Hard.
I used to do that shit all the time when I was a kid, and I'd go to some girl's house and we'd all sit in the back. It'd be at night going down. Just slide your hand down her pants.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I touched a pubic hair.
When
It freaked me out.
like you didn't know they existed.
Yeah, because like girls, there was a thing you shaved, back then, and then you like get into high school and some girls she doesn't, and you're like, what's wrong? What's going on down there? You're like, it freaks you out.
Yeah,
Like, I thought this stopped in the
I'm not
80s.
dealing with that.
You're definitely aging yourself there.
Yeah, right.
I
Oh,
remember
yeah, I'm
when.
young. Well, me
Look,
and Steve
I'm
are.
going to be totally honest. I remember the change.
You
I
remember
grew
when
up
it went
through
from
the change. So from, 14, 15 finger banging, all the, I mean, Revenge
to
of the Nerds.
find-
Revenge of the Nerds. We've got Bush. You remember that?
yeah.
Bush. That was a good thing, right? But up into the early '90s when I was
Yeah.
in my 20s, yeah, I didn't want it. I didn't want any of that bullshit no more. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm all about pit vipers and mullets and shit, but can we let the bush go? I don't want it to come back.
Yeah, I'm not into that at all.
I mean, the 80s
I'm
were
not
cool,
into.
but
I'm not
bush.
into a big bush, but I like a little hair down there.
Ugh.
I do
No
not.
bush.
No
bush?
No, I don't want any of it.
Not no hair at all, just
No.
straight
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. I like that it can be that way one day, but also be this way the other day. You know what I mean? But never big enough to run your hands to it.
Yeah.
You know?
I was surprised when I saw mustaches come back. I
Yeah.
thought that was something that would never be cool again.
They come back full force. Too.
Yeah, and now I'm even like, especially after watching Top Gun, you're
Sitting
like,
right here, you look
mustaches
like
are cool as
Hitler.
fuck. What?
Sitting right here, you have a Hitler stash, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. What?
'Cause the sun?
He's not shaved
I mean,
for 24 hours, so he
'cause
has
the way,
a bigger beard than I do already. So
Yeah, I got to go back to work soon and shave this bitch shit off.
What was
We just had a big clan meeting, so I grew it out in the front a little bit.
it does seem to be thicker there. No shit.
he's got that Gacy
Just
look?
maybe
So
the sun
For sure,
the
right now.
moon.
He's full on.
Y'all
Gacy.
can't see it, but this moon is fucking
Well,
blinding.
we were talking last night about how there weren't.
So-
Jake couldn't see that many stars, but tonight it's been.
yeah, the blood moon was
Spectacular.
up last night. It came up at like 3 a.m. is what that tweaker or not tweaker, but that
your guy down there.
my guy that I became friends with earlier.
Tweaker.
It's just easier because when you say tweaker, you just know it's somebody off the street, whether they're fucking rich or not. They're just
Right.
like some streetwalker. Hey, nice bike. What is that?
Are
But
these all yachts out here?
no, they're
no,
all,
those fishing boats.
Oh,
They all got nets out.
they do.
Yeah.
yeah, they
Oh,
were out
shit.
there earlier. I was crazy too yesterday seeing that big ass fucking cruise ship leave
Oh,
because
yeah.
it went
Did you
around
see it
this way.
today?
Big old
I
carnival.
came out here today. It was right where those fishing boats
Those
are.
fucking things are big,
It's-
dude.
It was a
Have
monster.
you never been on a cruise?
No, not like that.
It's
I'm not a big cruise fan.
it's fun for a day or so, but like
And then
then you get drunk and call some girl a cunt and you're stuck on a boat with her for fucking a week, and every time you're in like a diner and she walks in on the boat and you're like, God damn it!
well,
I
you're
really- just get
also
me off this
stuck with
fucking
every
boat.
other motherfucker that's on there
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you don't know. And after eating 2 or 3 days of that food, the same, you just want to jump off the fucking boat. It doesn't
is.
matter what kind of boat it is or where you're at.
Yeah, the food's not great.
No,
Does it like? Do you really get motion sickness in that big of a boat though?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
For real?
People I was with,
I don't-
some of the people I was with did.
Can I
some
call it a
people-
boat or should I say ship?
Oh,
Would
yeah,
that piss
shit.
them off? Like, hey man, it's a nice boat.
Well, then let's call it a boat. Fuck 'em.
yeah, fuck them.
Um,
Dissidents.
Yeah, it's some people just don't get motion sickness.
Yeah.
A lot of
do.
motion sickness is your body's moving, but your eyes can't see anything moving, so your body's like confused. But so they say that's why you go on shore and look at the horizon. So if you can see the horizon doing this, your brain puts it together like, oh yeah, the body's moving and I can see why it's moving.
yeah.
But when you're in like an interior cabin and stuff's just moving, that's when you get seasick.
Yeah, and it depends, where your room is on the boat.
Yeah,
if
you don't wanna be in the
you're in the
bow
back of the
at the
boat,
top.
it's going to be pretty brutal. If you're in the middle, it's a lot better. But I didn't get seasick at all. I've only been on one cruise, and actually it's 2 at the same time. My first one and my last one.
Yeah.
But I didn't get seasick. But when I got off, I was like, I felt weighted to the ground, like I was almost land sick. If that makes any sense. My brain.
Sea legs.
Yeah, sea legs.
Sea
Yeah,
legs.
I was really heavy.
You go on a boat all
Heavy
day, and
legged.
you get back on the dock, and you're like a little wobbly.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's weird. I
Yeah.
never thought about
Your
that.
brain starts like compensating for the movements.
When you're on a ship like that, do you feel like it doesn't feel like solid ground at all, right?
No, it doesn't. Like I said, I mean, if I'm being honest, you feel really happy when we get on it, and it's exciting, and then you realize that you're fucking
You're
totally
stuck.
compromised.
Like you ever been
I
to a
don't
bar
like that
and
feeling.
made an ass out of yourself, and then you go home the next day, you're like, I'm just not going to go to that bar again.
Was that last night?
What if
Did
you had
that
to
happen?
stay in the bar for like 4 days?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Right.
fuck, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So kind of like right now where I clogged the toilet in my room.
Hmm
Did you get that handle?
You guys should see the toilet me and Steve have. It's
It
a
will
power
suck
washer.
you down.
Yeah,
It's
you
got
do.
two
You-
speeds.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like
this
with the
building
airplane.
is a
It'll
little
does.
suck
older.
your
It's got
fucking
two speeds,
guts out
man.
from your butthole if you're sitting on it and hit the button. Don't courtesy flush that son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think because I brought like those dude wipes on this trip, and I don't think that the plumbing out here is ready for that shit.
I mean, they just redid it 110 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, so hopefully I didn't have to be in the room while that dude or lady or whoever's taking
I
care of
hope
that
it's a
shit
hot-
for me.
I
So
hope it's a hot girl.
Yeah. No, it's one of these Cuban girls that's in there with a 2x4 trying to break up a fucking 3-foot turd.
she walks out with a coat hanger.
What did you just abort?
Yeah, I was like, fuck, man. Because I woke up this morning. We ate good last night. And then that pizza that you bought last night, I fucking chomped down 2
It was
slices. of
fire.
that. It was good. And then, when me and Mark came back to the room last night here, we came out here and sat out here talking until about 1:30. I remember going in and my throat was all fucking cracky because
Yeah.
we'd just been.
And we were fucking drunk.
Yeah. That
So-
helps.
Yeah.
Me and Steve went out last night, and we were telling people that we were Mark and Jace.
I remember you saying
And
that.
I was a bail bondsman, and I told them a lot of stories about a bunch of bonds I chased down back in the day.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I just have the bonds, and people get them from me. And Jace over here has the largest podcast in the world, and then he would tell stories about the podcast.
This is
and
all
about his
news to me.
sponsors.
I don't even
You don't
remember.
remember
I don't
this?
remember doing any of this.
I remember.
We
I
did,
remember-
we did tell
trying
everybody, and then we
explain
went to the
story
strip club,
us,
and I already told them my name, and you were over in the corner, and then you came back, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is Mark." I go, "No, I told him the truth this time." But we were
Man,
doing
I
it for
don't-
so long last
Yeah,
night
yeah.
that we were just on it.
Honestly, I don't remember. I really don't.
We showed up with you guys. Y'all were on one.
Yeah.
We started at like noon.
Yeah, Craig was he was speaking in tongues.
I mean, when we rolled,
No.
when we rolled in, I started to get drunk off that one fucking
That one-
drink we had when we
Oh
pulled
yeah,
in.
I got
Oh,
you
the
that daiquiri.
Yeah.
there.
extra floater on that
Yeah.
bad boy.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that happened.
That had
and-
me going.
It is a very expensive place to drink, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was some
Those are
ridiculous
$25
bullshit.
drinks.
Yeah, well, and then remember the girl was like, and it's only $17.50 for a refill.
Yeah, that's cheap for
Fuck, it's a hell of a
refill.
bargain, you know?
$17.50.
You can go out there and buy somebody's fucking whale tail, fucking whatever they call those things, and then just come back in there and get a refill on it like a big gulp or something.
I should have sold it for $5 when
No
we were done with
shit.
it.
Yeah.
And they could have got a refill for $17.50.
I got.
we didn't think
We
that
all
one
just
through.
left them at the restaurant
Yeah.
we went to.
As soon as we sat down at the restaurant, I got the whole time been gone. Wife's been cool. As soon as I sat down, I just don't know how I feel about you being in Key West, and just I wish I was there.
Oh yeah, I got that. I got the whole
Yeah.
like, I wish I was there. I don't want to be at work and blah blah. Just FOMO basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole family's been pretty understanding. I don't really do much other than work, and this is a big trip for me.
Yeah.
The weekend, the down south camp out, the show, all that stuff was big for me, and this has been a great way to end it.
Yeah. Kind of a good
We did-
season ender.
We did
honestly.
kind of keep it
It was
quiet
perfect.
the whole
Perfect season
time.
ender.
Before and after the camp out, we kind of just didn't tell anybody about it and kind of just snuck off on our own down here.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, we could, if we would have been vocal about it, there would have been 17 motherfuckers down here with us.
Trust me, I could handpick like 20 motherfuckers I'd love to be down here with us if
For
I was
sure.
coming down here to party.
But then it's like
So-
when y'all came to Tarpon the second time, or it was first time for y'all, there was 13 of us, I think.
Mhm.
So we couldn't go anywhere. We had to take 3 cars everywhere.
Right.
We couldn't just go to a restaurant and try the best food. It was like, no, it's an ordeal. Like,
Yeah.
go to the bar, just fills up the whole bar, there's no place to sit. And keeping it small, like us 4, we can do everything.
Right.
Yeah,
But if
right.
there's 17 of us, you just can't. You
Well-
can't be spontaneous. You can't do anything.
I mean, it's also about personalities. Like Jay said, he certainly wasn't coming down here to vacation. It was just something like
Brady doesn't listen to
nightcap
this.
almost, if you will. You know.
She watches the live ones now, so I got to watch out what I say.
Oh, fuck.
So I mean, but it is a beautiful spot, and anybody that looks at some of those pictures that you took, or even the pictures of
Dude, the one of you last night with the sunset and stuff like that.
man, that yeah,
Amazing.
That was a good one.
It was
That's it.
raining. It was raining while we were
Was it
shooting
really?
that.
It was.
So it's crazy if you like zoom in. I don't know if you can on Instagram, but in the real original photo, there's like little streaks of the
drops.
raindrops coming down. And then if you zoom in on the bikes, they're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome photo.
So and same thing. Like between, I still got tons of other photos from that shoot yesterday, the ones from the night, and then I still got 2,000 something photos from the campout. From
Really?
Because what I wanted to do last year at the campout, remember, I was like, I brought all the
Right.
camera shit. I was like, on the way, I rode in the back of the truck.
Mhm.
But see, what happened last year is that everybody left. Once I took like a couple pictures, they just left.
Right.
And so I got like a
They didn't get the memo because
yeah,
we had kind of a train, and me and Millhouse were in front,
yeah.
and then you're like, snap, 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 and give us the head nod, and we took off, and instead of the next row stopping to get some snaps,
They just hauled ass.
everybody just followed us. And I was like, oh, fuck.
So I literally took like 5 photos, and then I just rode in the back of a truck for the rest the next
right,
10 miles.
that's right. I
Sit back
remember
there
that,
fiddling
yeah.
your
You know,
thumbs.
yeah.
Yeah, and so so this year, like especially with Sit Down Steve coming back down, and I got him, Justin, Levi, Mark, Swanson, Jake. He rode my bike.
Mm.
I rode on the back of the Twin Cam clothing. What's
Yeah,
his
Twin
name?
Cam Clothing.
Oh, okay.
Randy. is his
Randy. I
name.
rode on the back of his bike. Scared the fuck out of me.
What?
But he didn't scare the fuck. It was just
Just riding back.
that was a long stretch of riding on the back of the
It was
bike.
about a 15
15 miles.
15-minute ride.
Yeah, and it was like 15 miles from Inglis to the Crystal Spring or Crystal River.
Yeah, and then
And
yeah,
Where'd
we
y'all
had
go on Crystal River?
we went to that
Cody's?
Cody's.
Cody. That
Yeah.
shit was
Oh,
good,
that's
dude.
right.
Yeah. There's a
Yonkin,
lot of
I
us
still
there.
got I got 1,000 photos of this dude. I
Yeah.
still got photos from when we rode down from the barbecue joint to
I had to get back to pay for the DJ and stuff. It was
Oh,
already
yeah.
like 5 o'clock.
I still got photos from when we rode to Florida Bama. So like I still got a lot of shit to go through.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
And I took a lot of shots during the show, the Big Trouble show there that I got to go through, and then
Are you going to let Scott use them for the article?
Oh, that's a deep cut right there.
Mhm.
But no, like as far as like photography goes, then this was finally a success for me. And like doing this podcast, and hopefully tomorrow, if this thing with Sit Down Steve doing the podcast with him works out, then that's all I put on the table that I had to get. So me and Mark, we've
I
talked.
think this one was kind of a bonus too, wasn't it?
No, this is one, and then that one will
you,
be two.
You knew that you were going to do this one?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to reach out to Billy Lane, but I probably could have reached out. I could have tried harder. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But
He's in Miami?
I think he's in Daytona, isn't he?
Oh, Daytona.
I don't know
Or
if he's
Fort
in Daytona
Lauderdale?
or something, but like I said, I think he has a
He's-
shop on Main Street or something.
Yeah, but I just don't know if that shop's always open. It's almost like
No, I feel like it moves in for Blake Week or something.
yeah. I don't know, but I wanted to make it happen, but it
That'd
just
be a good one.
it just didn't feel right. It's almost like I'd rather like talk to him on the phone a couple times, get to know the guy a little bit, and then
Just so
maybe
he knows you're not a little like fanboy kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm definitely a fanboy, but
but
I'm not gonna, I'm
you're
a
gonna have
professional
to
still.
maybe name drop a little too. Just be like, oh, this person, this is.
Yeah.
they
I mean, I
bumped
could
on
call Lichter and ask Lichter to make a call or introduction, I could call Providence Cycles. Xavier.
Yeah.
He's like best friends with that
I
dude.
wonder how their cruise is going. Speaking of cruises,
I think it's over. They're already home.
Is
I
it
think.
over?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
High
Seas
Seas Rally.
Yeah, because I seen.
I saw some footage.
Vanessa's post today.
Sandoval's. I saw
Yeah.
some stuff on Sandoval's page.
Yeah, that looked cool, but I don't know.
Sandoval was there.
Yeah, a lot of YouTubers went on that one.
I know the
Two
Honorary
Wheels.
one, the YouTube guy, the Honorary one, he was there. I don't think they are friends anymore, so I wonder how that went.
YouTube Beef World. That'd be awesome.
I don't know. I heard Danger Dan's podcast with the Honorary one. He kind of told the story. It was interesting.
Oh, he actually did. That's wild.
Yeah.
You check that. Danger Dan's in Nepal right now with Bare Knuckle Paul, I think, or they're on their way home right now. Because they were going right after.
Did
Born
he already
Free.
make it to Argentina?
No, he's made it like he's been going there. Then he'll leave his bike with people, and then he'll come home, and then go back, and then fly, and then get a little bit further.
I was in Costa Rica in March, and he was almost to me, and his bike broke down. So I was like, "We got a shower and a bed, and if you want to, like,
I thought you were
recharge."
going to do the Homer Simpson, like back up into the bush and not exist
No.
to help him out. But no, yeah, that's cool.
No, but he's like, yeah, what's the address and this and that, and then that's when he broke down, like the next day, and had to fly that girl flew down to fix his bike for him. And that was back in March, so I'm like, he's got to be getting pretty close by now.
Yeah.
Just depends how much riding he can get done.
But yeah, so me and Mark have had so many conversations since we've been hanging out on this trip, and for me, like all these campouts, like yours, mine, my big trip with the guys, like don't get me wrong, like it's fun and it's riding and it is somewhat of a vacation, but for me, it's like it's an opportunity to get things that I need, podcasts, photography, like it's not 100% a vacation for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I've been kind of like, trying to be more mindful of how I drink, because once I have a couple drinks here and there, then I'm less inclined to want to go take photos of shit or utilize the sunset or the sunrise to get the better photos. Because that same pier or that same little corner we shot Mark yesterday, that photo wouldn't look like that. It wouldn't look that cool if the sun was up in the middle of the sky.
Right.
Right. So the timing of things is what creates the drama in some of that shit.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
That's the hard thing. That's all those photographers, that photography you guys saw in that first place we went to. It's like those guys are, he's under a fucking pier at 5:30 in the morning waiting for the sun to come up just over the ocean to get that shot, to look that cool, to be able to do that. If he got fucked up the night before and then slept till fucking 10 and then showed up at 12, that shot doesn't exist there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the hard part of my transition. Anytime you say you're transitioning, it just doesn't sound right anymore these days.
Yeah.
But that's kind of been the hard part of like being mindful of, okay, I want to party and I want to drink. That's why Florida Bama was a perfect opportunity, because there wasn't anything between Florida Bama and Inglis that I was like dead set on getting.
And we were just pounding. I mean, we made really good time this year.
How long did it take you to get there?
We left at 9:30, 9:15, I think. We hit the road officially. And then we did it in 2 fuel stops, which we did in like 4 last year. Did it in 2 fuel stops. Did 100 miles an hour, 90, 100 the whole way. I think we rolled in at 4.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys rolled in right around 4.
No, I think it was 5.
Was it?
Yeah,
I told you I was going to be there at 5, and I was there at like 4:40 or 4:50.
Yeah, I mean it was
because we were almost 7.
I know that when our crew pulled up, we hadn't been there 30 minutes,
and that was the goal this year.
Right.
Because last year everybody got there so early, but by the time we got there, everybody was bored. And I was like, let's try to coordinate so
they're
nobody's
also
here
cold
long
and
enough
wet.
to let the newness wear off.
Yeah.
And then, so everybody was kind of excited. We were all just kind of getting there within an hour of each other, and that worked out really good. And the vibe was just good all weekend.
Yeah, 100%. So, Mark, what about like the the concept behind like doing the show? Like, where did that stem from? And
Wow. I think it stemmed from Craig just farted really loud. Just shit his pants.
don't clog the toilet, dude.
I don't even have a toilet to use. It's all broken.
I don't know. Because the down south is close to home, and a lot of people over the last couple of years have been destination Jacksonville. There has been a destination for people coming in that way, and so a lot of times, people end up coming through and staying, and
I had a blast last year.
yeah, and so you start seeing these little groups form all to get there, so a 3-day thing turns into a 4 or 5 day thing, and it's nice to have. It's nice,
have an option.
But as far as the show goes, it was just stuff that Craig and I talked about, to try to have fun. It was never the show was never to be taken serious, and I mean, we didn't have a mic this year, but we did the best we could, and by telling people, and I mentioned it before in post. It was not ever meant to be one of those things where the guy with the coolest parts and paint job shows up and wins a trophy because so-and-so says so. I love those shows. I love being a part of those shows. But that's not what this was. This was based off of what happened at the Fast Life campout.
Yeah.
It just was organic. It was, everybody was happy, and it was a good, and
We all compared notes, so
yeah, we all talked to folks.
we didn't give the
and-
same trophy to the same guy.
Right. We
And,
wanted everybody to feel a part of it. The show
And
was
so
about
many
the people.
that have never won a trophy ever got a trophy.
Right.
And they were so stoked on it.
What I think that we were both really doing, what was happening at that show with what you guys and what you've done with the Down South Campout, with the Gump Award and things like that, is you're recognizing things that people do.
We're not recognizing your wallet. We're recognizing you.
Yeah.
Well,
the
we're really not
efforts.
recognizing your build.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I
we
mean?
were looking for good-looking bikes. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
And nice dynas, but
All the bikes that won were cool bikes. They just weren't all the most expensive bikes. What was even better about the bikes was the people that ride the bikes.
yeah,
And it's more of that kind of a vibe than it is look at my shit, it's fast as fuck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Or-
That like the chick that won the best of show with that Sportster, that teal Sportster, that was cool. She seemed surprised when she was getting the award, but I think I heard a story from you or somebody about how like she was like really stoked about that.
Yeah, she was parked next to me when
Oh,
I went,
that's
when I
right,
went
you
over to
said.
my bike. Yeah, she was just, cloud 9 or whatever on top of the world.
That's awesome.
And it was a cool story, So her boyfriend, I
Also
wanna
did
say
a
her-
burnout on her Sportster later. Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
That's
He
awesome.
did. He did.
it's like fuck her.
But he had I'm sorry, I don't remember both their names at the moment, but
yeah,
they both had cool bikes,
Yeah.
right? And hers was just a little sporty, but it had a cool paint job on it. And the best thing about it was talking to them, and they didn't know that we were necessarily, or I was necessarily judging that
yeah.
thing, because we had a lot of guys judging, and we, like Craig said, we took notes and made sure that one guy didn't win everything or the majority of things. And
What we should have done is like got all the guys that had a black road glide and brought them all together in the middle, and then cracked one pool cue over your leg
And threw it in the.
and threw it
Yeah.
in the mix and said, "Last one standing wins."
yeah, well,
Oh, yeah, they would all try to sit on it, though.
they're like like I said,
Street
there
Glide
was
Nation, baby.
there was a lot of black. Black was a theme
Yeah,
for sure. But again, like I said, there was some other cool bike. The fucking dude on the Honda Davidson was.
oh, that was cool. When
Yeah,
he pulled
he
up
was a
and he was
good guy,
revving
and
it, it sounded different because
Yeah.
we're not used to
On the what?
the Honda Davidson.
The Honda
chopper?
Davidson, the chopper that won for
Oh,
best
yeah, yeah,
chopper.
yeah.
It was like purple
Yeah.
or
And that
something,
thing
right?
was cool, man. I mean, it was really.
It looked like the video from the loft that Scott put out where it was dubbed over with a street bike motor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. I'm like, is
Yeah.
this real life dub over? Like,
it was
how is this happening?
But it was a cool bike. It was different,
Yeah.
and it.
It was like, that's a weird Harley.
It's revving to
What are all
12,000
those pipes
RPMs.
doing?
But that and seeing Jay Utah get his award, he was surprised.
Yeah, that
what
was my
about? I
pick.
mean, but what about Boz?
Boz,
I
he
mean,
deserved it. He had the
he-
best black road glide.
Fuck yeah, he did have the best black road glide.
It's a clean bike. Boz is
David
the guy
had a
who's
nice
at,
one too.
Right, but I mean,
Dave was
Boz
too
is a
close to
guy
home.
who's at a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
events too. Like he's always
Yeah,
there.
he's a supporter of all this shit. So
yeah,
that's-
he's.
that's what's
I
rad.
was just up in his area. We had a great night out, and yeah, he's just a great guy.
and he's always like you said, he's always there. He always shows up.
Always
and
happy.
always happy, always in
Yeah.
a good mood, always just such a nice guy, and that's why his black bike won the show.
Yeah.
It's just because of him.
Yeah.
The reason why that girl won the show was because of my conversation with her and her boyfriend. You know, they were excited to be there, and that you know,
yeah.
That's-
That's what you want. you
yeah,
know?
I was super excited that we had such a great turnout. You know, I don't know what the exact count on the bikes were, but we
Definitely
had
over 100 bikes.
well over 100
Yeah.
bikes and lots of people, and like I said, it was a copycat of the vibe that the Fast Life show had, where
Yeah.
everybody was happy to be there, everybody was happy to win their award, and nobody was butthurt. You know, maybe one guy walked out of there and said, "God damn it, I had the best fucking black road glide," but for the most part, I think everybody was happy with the, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I don't.
it's a fun thing. It was meant to be fun.
Yeah. No, it was really badass. That's the kind of things that that I think makes these the whole camp out concept, and from the moment we started ours, and Craig and I joked back and forth, but he also, when you started doing things at the Down South camp out, it was kind of like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And so it's like a way to keep making these smaller, more intimate events become more and more connectable to it,
Yeah.
because they're growing. Like, there's more people coming to our camp out. There's more people coming to Down South camp out. So as these things grow, how do you keep it connected? How do you keep people connected? And a thing like that show is good for the Down South because, like, if you think about it, like, last year it rained a lot, right? So a lot of people were just shoved in the bar. You know what I mean? Or they were just...
we all were inside most of the time. Which this year there wasn't a lot of people inside the bar.
I know, but it seemed like there was more. Like, there was a couple pockets of people.
Yeah.
Like, by the fire there'd be a pocket.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
under the awning there'd be a pocket, and then out there in the woods there was the mushroom pocket of people
Right.
that was all getting.
What did y'all think of the lunch spot?
Which spot was that?
The where the bike show was. We
I-
call it a lunch spot, but I don't even know if they had food.
I like the
They
place.
did
They
actually.
had like
Place
a little
was nice.
Yeah.
It-
kitchen or
it-
something.
I like the
but-
place. I think it would have been better if we could have had it right there at the bar.
Oh yeah. But it was nice having that stage there when we needed it.
Yeah, the stage was helpful, but
Yeah.
The
like I
owner
said,
was worried about us being in the way of his normal patrons
yeah.
who wanted to come in there and be like, "We're way off the park. Where?" So he's. But it actually, I think worked out better being in front of that stage. And
Yeah,
we
but
had
if
a
he would've
speaker,
put
it
up-
would've been
if he
even
They
would've-
would have crammed. That would have been a crammed situation. Too.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
then
so-
I would have.
with the amount of
If
bikes
I
that
would, if
showed
I
up.
could be a, critique it at all, I would have then asked them to stock a bar out there, because happened to walk all the way over there to get a
Didn't
drink.
they have a bar in the back?
There was a bar right there that would have been perfect.
Yeah, but nobody's
it
in
wasn't
it.
Next year,
open.
now
Yeah.
that we know that bar's there, and be like,
Yeah.
can we get one bartender working at least? Put
Right.
a couple girls in that.
Yeah, because
shack and-
it's the same thing. Like, our crowd drinks and spends money. So yeah, we don't want to fuck with your patrons. We don't want to fuck with your business, but we're gonna bring you a lot of business.
Yep. Right.
And we need you.
maybe after they've seen it this year, it gives us a
Yeah.
little credibility.
We need you to make some changes to help us make our event better.
Yeah, I want to get that bar, and next year I want the school bus open at Scooter Haven.
Yeah.
That
So-
needs to be a thing.
Like we did the show this last year at Fast Life, and I wanted to, the hardest challenge that I've been dealing with is trying to figure out how to bring brands into the fix or into the mold of the camp out without it being them sitting behind a tent and a table talking about their products to people.
Yeah.
Right.
The ability for these guys to be here as the bikers that they are or were before they started being a business,
And that's why a couple people reached out about setting up a tent and this and that. And I said, man, if you really want customers, you need to bond with these people, not sit behind a thing saying, give me your money.
Separate yourself from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the end of the weekend, one of the guys I explained that to, he goes, you're absolutely right. I met so many more people being one of them than I did trying to impress one of them from behind a booth.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, like that's why we don't allow vendors. You're trying to keep it a party and not a rally. And that's
Exactly.
like the biggest thing that we need to make sure it doesn't creep over to an event. I don't even want to call it an event. I want to keep calling it a party.
Yeah.
Because that's what it
I
feels
think
like.
Jason and I were talking about this last night. We like to call it a mixer.
Oh, a mixer.
It's a fucking Catalina wine mixer.
That's
Crackalina wine mixer.
every time you played it. What's that opera song they play on that scene?
Oh, for tuna.
Yeah,
That one.
maybe. I don't even think Siri can pick that one up, buddy.
Yeah, if I keep singing it, you're gonna get cut off of YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
We're not live right now.
monetize it.
But no, so like I said, this year we did the show, and during the show we kind of called an audible. And we're like, man, like you start hearing like all the homies are out there, they're talking to people, and you hear some of the stories about some of the guys and their bikes and what they did to get them done and be there, and then you automatically are more connected to that story of the guy in his garage that built a bike, or the guy that rode it halfway across the country and wanted to be a part of this thing, but also, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different variations, and you find that like that's the guy, that's the kind of people that I want to reward with these trophies, these handmade things, these these giveaways for their effort, for their them trying to get a taste of this.
Right. We were super lucky when we started kind of playing around with the idea of having the show and posting a little bit about it. We had so many people reach out to us and say, hey, what do you need for your show, that made it possible for us to do some of the stuff. I mean, there was some really nice shit. A lot of people gave away a lot of stuff. We had a lot of sponsors. Santoro Mike, shout out to him, gave us a full crash bar set, Bagger crash bar set.
That's pretty dope.
Was it
That's
black?
Fucking expensive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely not expected. Brian Clock reached out to me. John from Hardcore Cycles reached out.
Lexin showed up.
Lexin showed up,
Yeah.
and
Thundermax
really
Offer code.
really helped out.
Both of those.
Thundermax really, and
I'm gonna put
Ryan.
the Thundermax ad right here. I have been saying it for years now. One of the first upgrades that pay off for the longevity of your motorcycle ownership is a Thundermax EFI module. For those that don't know what that does for your riding experience, basically the T-Max module provides your Harley-Davidson with proprietary auto-tune technology. It has a barometric sensor and a wideband O2 sensors, which constantly read the ambient air and air-fuel ratio to optimize the performance output from your fuel-injected engine. You can order these modules with pre-downloaded base map for your current stage of performance, or have the bike brought to a dyno tuner for a custom map. I can tell you from experience, I've watched my bike on the dyno learn from every dyno pull in real time. It works, and I have been running these modules on my bikes since 2015. The team at Thundermax are some of the best in the business, and you can catch them supporting the big events like Sturgis, all the way down to things like our campout. Thundermax is in the streets with you. Head on over to thunder-max.com and get yourself dialed in with a T-Max tuner and drop the Fast Life offer code at checkout and save yourself 10% on your purchase. And follow my guys on the gram at Thundermax EFI.
Yeah,
I
Thundermax
am
helped
sponsored
out
now.
a ton and gave away a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
They really did.
Millhouse
And-
is becoming one of the most MVPs of our scene.
And he's Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and Millhouse is just such a good dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, he
and
helps out a lot for
and
all
he
of
has the
us.
voice of an angel. In case you don't know.
Oh my
He
God,
fucking
what
does,
a great
dude.
singer he is.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
fantastic,
like
dude.
yeah.
He belongs behind a microphone all the
He's
time.
like a human.
and he has that perfect voice.
He's like a human
you know.
Xanax. He just soothes you with his song.
Wah, wah, wah.
And I definitely thought hurricane season was over, though.
We're about to get hit by a hurricane for the people that
Yeah,
don't know
you
when we
can
recorded
kind of see
this.
it over there, I guess.
It's coming in tomorrow, and we're stuck in Key West on motorcycles. So I think we might try to squeak out at like 4 in the morning before the shit show happens.
Yeah.
But right now, it's literally the calm before the storm. I mean, I'm sure you can hear a little wind, but it's not.
It's kind of
It's kind of beautiful out
The
here.
wind is calmer than it was when we first sat down. Because over
Yeah,
there it
yeah.
was windy as fuck. Remember?
Yeah.
But the show, I think it's such a great idea, and that's why, like, the way we did it at the Fast Life was kind of last minute. Justin, my machinist, was a huge help with us doing that, and then reaching out to the different brands like Hang 'em High and T
For us
Max.
too this year, Justin was a huge help.
So basically, I saw how Mark and how organized like Mel and you and all this show was. I was like, it only makes sense for that to be at our camp out too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
want-
Like,
Should we Big Trouble Bike Show?
yeah, the Big Trouble Bike
Yeah.
Show
Make it
at
a franchise thing.
yeah.
yeah,
It'll be
at two
our
campouts.
version of the
Only.
hard
V twin.
the hardcore cycles.
Like I said, it's
of
not
the camp out game.
Again,
Yeah.
it's definitely not that category. There's levels to this shit, as we all know,
Yeah.
and those guys.
That would be neat. Big Trouble Bike Show at both campouts. Like I said before, like a Gump Award at both campouts. Like have this thing that kind of ties us as a franchise in together.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, oh yeah, these are associated, because we do work off of each other when it comes to ideas for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you brought the shirts to the table because I was just being lazy. I mean, I was like, fuck, a shirt? God damn it. But the shirts really helped us monetize it in a
Yeah.
way to not justify anything, because I love being at these campouts. So it's not so much of a, like, oh, I got to get paid. But it's starting to get to that point, you know what I mean, where, like, the expectations and the amount of work that goes into, and you guys both know this from I know you know it, Craig, just the amount of work and stress that it is trying to make sure that everybody is happy and everybody
It
is
is
having a good time, and
Stressful.
Yeah.
and then you got the weather
that
that
could completely just shit on your event.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you got going on.
You could have everything perfect, set up perfectly, and then it's just the weather.
yeah, because it's not a fucking bike night, man. It's not like, oh well, we got rained out this week, let's just move it to next week.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. If it rains, then this camp out is underwater, and that's going to be the year it was underwater.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then next year you just hope for some better weather. So I mean, I think we both got rained out last year. My camp out
Yours
and
was
yours.
2020.
No,
Yeah.
2021.
I mean 2021
is
Yeah.
the rain
Not-
camp
yeah,
out for
not
us.
22. Yeah.
So 22 we had perfect weather. We had
Yeah. 22
one
was
storm, and then
It was
like-
a little warmer too because it was 2 weeks later than normal,
yeah.
so it was a little bit warmer. So there wasn't a lot of flannels and stuff like usual. I mean, I was in a tank top the whole time.
Yeah.
Saw a lot. Didn't see as many flannels.
I feel like people are wising up. So
Yeah.
it was also hot at yours this year.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
True.
Yeah. So.
Because it was
Oh, you
2
weren't
weeks
talking shit
later.
about flannels? I was talking shit.
No. It was 2 weeks later than normal, so it was just like not flannel season as much.
Yeah.
That was kind of nice.
But no, I think it'd be cool to build on it, and then, getting more brands to want to donate things to give away. So it's like, someone said it this weekend. It's like, it doesn't matter what the fuck it is. If you get something, you win something, or you catch something in the crowd, or hopefully not STD, but
I knew that was coming. I was going to make a dad joke, but you took it.
you got to be quicker than that.
You gotta be quicker than
Gotta
that.
be quicker than that.
But I think that's like a good, like, moving forward, raising the bar situation. That's like, it's just an added touch that makes it good, and it gives people another thing to look forward to during the event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
And it gives us something else to do, because if we don't have all this stuff going on, it could get boring.
yeah.
Like, okay, we just drink for another day? It's
yeah,
like, no,
but it was a lot of work. I mean, we did.
Yeah.
You
Y'all had
know,
ballots and clipboards, dude.
Yeah,
That shit was official.
We worked hard to get it to that point, but it was worth it. You know that again for me, it's a lot of it is about the people that you meet and that you get to hang out with and you get to know better and I think that's why it's important to have that kind of a vibe of a show. It's not, like I said, it's not for your brand new fucking build. It's it's just about you and
take
the
that
bike.
to the
It's
hardcore.
both.
I mean, you could bring that down and stuff, but just like everybody wants to see cool bikes. I mean, there's cool bikes at my camp out. There's cool ones at yours. But if you're really trying to win a trophy that like that
That matters.
I don't want to say this matters
yeah,
too.
but
man.
it does. It does in a different way, though. You know what I mean? I'm proud of my V-twin trophies. I'm proud of my hardcore trophies. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling, to have a little recognition. Everybody likes it, right? Right,
Yeah.
Craig?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right?
I love
I mean,
my trophy. It's
everybody
beautiful.
likes it. So,
Got a perfect spot for it.
oh yeah, I forgot about your trophy. Yeah, that was a special one.
That's special, all right.
What was it?
Is
the
it dirty?
gayest street
Is that
glide?
thing? Is it dirty already?
Gay street glide. It
Is
smells
that-
like shit.
I knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
What was it?
So it probably
what was-
tastes like shit too, as well, right?
What was the trophy again? I know it was
Gayest
some-
street glide.
Gayest
It was,
street glide.
and for just for the 4 people that are listening to this, it
4,000.
that one was rigged. We knew going into the camp out that Craig was going to win gayest street glide. So
It
if
was
you
a
think you
beautiful
had the
trophy
gayest
with a
street glide,
dildo
you
on top.
better fucking come hard at the Fast
Literally.
Life. Literally.
something in your butt. Yeah.
You got to do that milking thing.
At the
come
Fast
in,
Life
you come in the
floor.
camp out, you better. I want to see rainbows and unicorns on your street glide.
Hell yeah. Isn't it funny how like we lean into that? We lean into everything so much different than other older generations of bikers. Like we were talking about that earlier. Remember?
Yeah.
About like this.
But earlier, those guys were fucking riding 2 up, shirtless,
yeah,
doing
butt
all that
naked
gay
together.
shit
Yeah.
that we do, and they just forgot. I think that
Yeah.
they did that stuff because now when we do it, it's the end of the fucking world.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? Hold up.
I've got a nasty cough right now, and I was laughing, and I was coughing as well. So you got a weird little laugh out of me. You got a weird chuckle, bro. But no, that was fun, man. This whole week, this has been fun. This has finally been like I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to the next couple of days, to be honest with you, as far as riding back through Florida. But
It's a long ride.
it's clear that there are a couple of gyms in this fucking state.
There are other spots. I like even where in Inglis, where we stopped, where the Jacksonville crew rolled
Gators
in
or
from,
whatever?
Swampies. It's on Rainbow River. It's still
Gators
beautiful.
is,
Like a lot of the dudes went back later that day and swam over there because it's such a beautiful spot. And that's 10 minutes from Scooter Haven, which is not so beautiful, but
I love how Scooter Haven, we have set the bar so low that people were coming out of the shower. Like I heard multiple people going, they had some really hot shower, like
heard
hot
the
water
same
in that
thing.
shower. Like
and I was in an RV and had cold ass fucking
they're
water.
just
the
so
whole time.
surprised
Someone
that
said that they
anything
couldn't get
was
it to
nice
not
there.
be hot. Like it was
No,
too hot.
it's like a one-way valve. Like there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Everybody was talking about how
temperatures
hot
or-
the showers were. Like they were so surprised. If it was a nice place with like a little bit warm showers, they would have complained about it. But
I feel like
it was so funny. We just set the bar so low for that place.
the one thing if I could, I wish that Sandoval would do about his campground. I mean, he does have the shower trucks like they would in like certain rallies and shit like that. But man, if he could just get one of those good, solid built shitter shower situations that like Sturgis campgrounds have.
I thought the one that's behind the check-in there is pretty fucking.
I mean,
good.
it's not bad, you know what I mean. But when you have 1,000 people
Yeah.
at an event, like
Yeah.
it's just like
Y'all shower?
I didn't shower this last year. No, actually, I took a shower in Justin's and it was cold. But
Yeah,
like
I shower every day.
A good shower fucking house, shitter shower house is like. That's why like when I go to Sturgis, like I don't have a problem staying there for 5 days because I get to shit in a clean bathroom and take
that one is pretty nice.
take a shower in a clean shower situation. It's like every hour and a half they're going in there and they're mopping the showers, mopping the shitters, cleaning it up.
Yeah, because
So you're always
when I was there, so they were really on top of it.
Yeah. So it's like that's the only thing I think would. Everything else, the cabins, the this, the that, like that shit doesn't mean anything. But if you got a good shower situation, man, that's a game changer. If I ever have a campground, that's the first thing I'm building is a fucking legit place to stay clean and comfortable.
Yeah.
But we should. Yonkin, you had mentioned it. We ought to put our money in and buy a campground.
I'm serious.
I bet we could get Scooter Haven for cheap.
No, I think they make more money out of the back of that place.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think. Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole separate business they can keep.
Yeah,
like-
they can't. They don't get to claim that.
No,
on
we're
taxes.
kicking all those motherfuckers off the property.
Where would you
I don't know.
want to put a campground though? Because you don't want to be somewhere where you only have one season. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
go too
No.
far north, and you're like, okay, well, we got campers for half a year. But you go too far south, and then you're in the same boat. So
Yeah.
you got to find that comfort line across the country where.
I mean, I think Sandoval's found the perfect situation.
Yeah, his is just phenomenal area.
Yeah.
Riding wise, being right there on that river and stuff.
Especially for a motorcycle-driven campground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The riding around there is just beautiful.
I will say that the Crystal River, I've never been fully into that town, and this time was the first time I went in there. I was like, oh shit, there's like, so like, it changed the vibe for me because I was not feeling the food this year at the campground. So I was like, fuck, I just want a steak.
Did you have a hot dog?
No, every time I went there, they fucking closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they
at
were
random ass
closing early.
times. It'd be like 10,
campground?
it'd be
10 o'clock.
10:37. They're
10:30.
like, we're closed.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck,
I had
dude?
3 of those bad boys.
And the
No,
little-
Scott had like 6.
I will say their burgers there are phenomenal.
No, the food is good
no,
there.
but I mean, like, I
mean,
wouldn't expect it. You know what I mean? Like a burger from something like that. Like,
yeah.
it was really good.
At Scooter Haven?
It's Scooter Haven.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
burgers,
for sure.
like, yeah, it's top notch.
I always get the fried bologna sandwich, which is amazing. I think about it all year.
I usually just eat breakfast there, and it's better than you think.
Yeah.
It's better than you think it's
I
going to
had
be.
French
for sure.
toast this year
Yeah.
from there. But no, that Crystal River, they just got nice restaurants and
Yeah.
good wait staff, and
Crystal River's a little diamond in the rough up there, and it's not far from Wiki Wachi, where you can go with a tube and float down the whole river
Or
and
you can
drink
go
all
back
day.
to
and-
Denellen, and there's some really nice spots in Denellen. Yeah.
yeah, that's a cool area up there. You're not far from like civilization
yeah.
and airports. I mean, a couple hours from an airport, but not too bad.
But yeah, that's the difference. That's the one thing that we don't have at our camp out is like, yeah, 10 miles away, which is what Crystal River is. Like you have Antlers, which has food, but they don't have the population to have like nice restaurants and shit like that. So
The food truck was nice this year at Fast Life.
yeah, we're gonna have
It was nice.
We're leaning into that more this year, obviously.
Now,
I
is
thought-
this something you guys set up, or is
Fuck
Sandoval
no, this is
sets it up?
Sandoval.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know how to set up a food truck or how that goes about. I'm like, hey, do you want to make some money? Go park your shit over here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I know some food trucks are like, well, you got to pay me to be here, and I'm like, well, aren't you making money?
They're
while
a
you're here?
fucking idiot if that's.
You know what though?
thing.
If you remember, funny enough,
Usually they'll give you a cut.
the food truck guy, one of them. I'm sorry, I don't remember what the name of the food truck was, but he actually, when we were doing giveaways on stage,
Mhm.
he actually came up and matched.
Oh, he did.
He did. He
what's call
matched
it?
like $100. What somebody did $100 thing, and he matched it.
Well, didn't
with
Sandoval
$100
come up
bill.
and say like he's giving away money for the veterans up there?
Yes,
yeah.
but we did.
Yeah,
So
Justin matched him,
I matched him.
and you did too.
Justin borrowed money from him to match as well.
Yeah, so I matched him
Twice.
twice.
But no, that's
I'm sure Justin's paid me back
Yeah,
tenfold
probably, for
somewhere
sure.
along the line.
But yeah, that guy was cool. He's the one that also gave us the cayenne pepper for them to snort, which he almost got me fucking.
Whew, yeah.
Got
That
me
was
fucked on that one.
Yeah. Don't do that one.
It's not a good thing.
No.
Oh, so end of the year, man. So what do you guys? What's the end of the year? What's the rest of this year look like for y'all?
For me, it's probably a day or two more here in Key West by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then a slow ride home, and then holiday stuff, end of the year stuff, just work and family, like everybody else, I guess.
Mm.
What about you?
I don't have any. I'm trying to just work, do Thanksgiving, Christmas, make sure everybody gets what they wanted. Try to get a couple more things done. I got to rebuild a website over this winter. We're trying to, for our camp out next year, we're trying to release the shirt and, possibly the wristband situation if I decide to do that, like to where people can order everything through line. So I got to build a whole website that's able to do that.
Yeah, I really dig the Born Free Fast Life shirt, the black and yellow ones.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a ton of them left. I just, and I have a lot of people that want to buy them, but I got so fucked last time I shipped shirts that I got to get the shipping account stuff set up, and I need to get it all set up to where people can order the stuff online. The shipping is calculated online. It's charged, and everything's like a well-oiled machine. So I have probably 80 shirts left that I can sell once.
If you think about it, save me a large and ship it with my helmet.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you think about it, just ship me one.
Okay. I'm gonna have
Use
no
your own
shirts.
I
money.
don't want one.
Well, he didn't make your size anyway, so you'll be all right.
I think we finally got it all worked out with our printer to where he's got his shit together and he's getting
Sorry.
Millhouse there,
yeah, I think we got the printer shit worked out, so hopefully we'll be able to produce some decent shirts, and we use the next level shirts on the Born Free ones, which I fuck with those. I like them a lot.
Been using those
Unfortunately
lately.
for me, because I'm tall, some of these camp
the
out
next levels
shirts,
don't work on tall people.
yeah, they turn into crop tops, and I don't, my abs are not as good as some folks.
Or exist.
I mean, they're better than.
Okay.
You
You got abs?
second best here. Yeah, under this fat. You
Same.
bet.
Samesies.
What about you, Yonkin? What's left?
Honestly, just like family stuff, traveling back and forth for the holidays.
Yeah.
Gonna head to Vegas again for my birthday with Monty. That's pretty much it. Figure out what I'm gonna do with life. I gotta do that.
Yeah, I forgot you sold your business, and that's why you've been.
I sold it in May. Just kind of been hanging out and figuring shit out.
Transitioning.
No, we're not gonna say that.
What about you, Craig?
I'm gonna take this next weekend off, do something with the old lady, and go back to work Tuesday till basically Christmas.
Weren't you all the way up in northwest Canada recently, or?
Yeah, I just went up to Alberta right before. I couldn't even make it back to Florida, so I had to drive most of the way back and leave
Fly?
the truck in Little Rock and fly back for the camp out.
Yeah.
Hop on the bike, but need new tires.
On the truck?
That's top priority. No, on the bike,
Yeah.
those fuckers are worn down.
What about, what do you guys think about, where you at with your bikes? Like, changes you want to do over the winter? New bikes you're thinking about?
I need a pipe for sure.
Yeah.
Mine's all rusted out and it's only like 2 years old, so got to get a pipe soon here.
Sounds
over the
good,
winter. I'm thinking about doing the mids, the Arlen S mids, because they fit me pretty good because they're so much more forward
Yeah.
than the rest of the mids.
You gonna put that on a new Road Glide, or are you just gonna still?
No, I don't like road glides.
Okay.
And how can he keep winning free dildos?
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
No, I like my bike, and it's pretty much paid off. It's got a couple months left, and I don't like bills, and I can just repaint that cheaper than a bike payment every year.
Yeah. Or you can just pay me what you would pay your bike payment every year.
Yeah, that's what Jeremy
3
said.
years.
So I go that.
Go that route. What so if you were able to sell, I mean, I know you've had your bike up for sale for a while now, but you haven't been,
Yeah, I've
like,
been
pushing it.
kind of, not pushing it at all. Just kind of testing the water or whatever. I don't know. If I don't sell it, I definitely want to do some. It's an 18. It's got
Okay.
some miles on it. Change a couple of things up with it. I need a new exhaust as well. I want to do like different suspension in the front. Better calipers. I don't know. Just a couple of things.
Yeah.
Kicking around, maybe doing something with the paint. I don't know.
What if it did sell? What would be your next move?
I really want to try the Lowrider ST.
Yeah.
I really want to give one a shot and, don't go like crazy with it. Like I won't do the motor or nothing like that. Just, more so performance end as far as like braking and suspension. And,
I think we
Yeah.
got drunk
Cam.
people walking towards us.
oh, they're coming
That's
to join
all
the party.
I don't give a fuck.
That's cool.
But like I said, it's just one of the things. I don't know. If it sells, it sells. If it don't, then I'm gonna just do some different things to it.
Yeah.
It's running good though. All you had is that pipe problem, and everything else been straight.
Yeah, like I said, not home yet, but basically within 7,000 miles, a little over 7,000 miles. Other than the pipe cracking again, that's not been a hiccup.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's up?
What's going on?
Cheers, buddy. Yeah.
Everything's good,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
Yes.
Not live,
Oh.
but we're recording. Hell yeah. Yeah, we didn't have any drinks over here though, unfortunately.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle
stuff.
podcast?
08
08?
Glide, 30,000 miles. Laconia's 100th anniversary coming up this year.
Hell yeah.
Bet your ass I'll be there.
Nice.
Where are you from?
Hey, right?
He from
You
New
got that.
Hampshire?
Boston boy.
Doss, nice.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, fucking go every year. Back when it was really Laconia and it was like you crash on the side of the road and sleep, fire them up and roll back again.
Heck yeah.
I haven't been to Laconia yet.
Yep.
It's always a plus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these rallies are getting so expensive, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
All right, man.
Have a good night, buddy.
Ride safe,
For
ride
sure.
free.
Hell yeah.
100th anniversary.
Hell yeah, brother.
In New Hampshire this year.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Running rally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are bike guys.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
we're going to make it one year. We also live far away from there.
I live in Boston. I'm here on a boat.
You're on a boat?
Yeah,
Shit.
fucking right, man. We are running the hurricane.
Damn, we got to ride in
We
it
gotta do
tomorrow.
it tomorrow.
It is what it is. Fucking people who walk on.
All right.
Hell yeah. I'm motivated now. Fuck
Yeah.
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 Hell yeah.
Let's go. Fucking my boat does 108. My Hallie fucking took it up to the cabaret, a little strip club, and had some fun on it Saturday. Boston on 6 degrees.
Fuck
Go see
yeah.
some titties in the wave. Male titties, but that doesn't count.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Have a
You
good
guys
night.
have a good night.
Drive
Yeah.
fast, take chances.
That's right.
Yeah.
My car is faster than yours, it's dope.
I love it.
That's
Totally
good stuff.
random. Totally random.
Yeah.
We look like the dumbasses out here doing a podcast.
I know, I guess so.
No,
yeah.
I was just thinking
Look at
that,
these
like,
fucking
man,
nerds out here.
have you ever seen other people doing a podcast? You're like, look at these fucking losers.
Well, trust me, I wouldn't do this during the day when there's fucking people
no,
everywhere.
no.
Like,
Fuck no.
we're out here in the middle of the, it's nighttime. It's desolate
Or
out
random
here.
drunk dudes on the beach that just
Yeah,
happen to
that's,
stroll by
so
here.
I was talking
Isn't
to
it fun?
They
having
can't
a-
walk
I was
for
talking
shit,
to
dude.
the last guy and not the guy from Baston,
Bastard.
but they're down here for the races.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah, yeah.
on the race boats.
They're
Oh, yeah.
down here for
think that-
racists.
I don't think that.
Oh, they're definitely that.
They're from Boston. From Boston.
the fuck out of here.
But I don't believe that particular fella was hopefully not operating any of the boats, but they were all on the team, if you
Can
will.
you imagine if we had a boat that did 110 right now? We could be in Cuba in 45 minutes and get some dinner.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, you
It-
never
it-
watched Miami Vice?
Yes, I have, and you are right. It does work that way.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. They don't have rules.
Yeah.
Well, King Tony had said that he has a buddy that has a place down here or something like that He always comes down here for the boat races, or he likes to come down here for that shit or something.
Yeah.
Because last year we talked about coming down to do the Key West thing, and King Tony was wanting to come.
Yeah, I remember
Said
that.
yeah.
Because last year King Tony said he was in,
Yeah.
and then he didn't end up coming at all. Or maybe it was the first year. Yeah, it was the
God
first
damn it!
year
Is this
King
going to be a
Tony said-
fucking thing we're going to do every year? Is come to Key West?
I mean, I'm
It sounds
totally.
good in theory. If we could
It needs,
remember how
but
great this moment is.
it needs to be like a legit invite only. Like you
Like a
can't.
golden ticket. You get a golden ticket.
Yeah,
in the mail.
like
Yeah, and talking about it on this podcast is probably not the best way to do it.
no, well, it just makes it more exclusive. You
Yeah.
know,
I think we were just good, just not telling anybody about it, and just
y'all going
and not being shady,
Nah,
but just
absolutely
like,
not.
we hated it.
well,
last
nobody
year.
asked us.
If
but
you
it
don't
was
show up
just-
to at least both the campouts,
Yeah,
you're
Yeah,
definitely
definitely
like
gotta
out of the
do that.
running.
yeah,
you know.
yeah. That's a yeah.
But yeah, I definitely don't want it to be oversaturated like a lot of stuff we do, where it's just like, yeah, I kind of like our small little group.
They'd be like, "Oh man, your bike's really cool, man, and I know you can afford the time off and everything, but
How
you're
fun
just
is
a
it?
dick, dude. I don't like you that much." Huh?
How fun is it talking to like boomers or guys from other Harley scenes
Like
like
Boston?
that,
Yeah,
like Boston,
like Boston.
or like the old guy at Scooter Haven who kept showing everybody his trike wrapped in skulls
Yeah.
with the skeleton hands as the rearview mirrors.
Oh hell yeah.
He was like, "How fucking bitchin' is this?" He's like, "Nobody can keep up with me in the corners with my trike."
What,
Like, it
what
was
corners?
the funniest
What the
fucking.
fuck? Oh, what corners, dude?
And everybody behind him is laughing their ass off, and I'm trying to keep a straight face. And it happens so much that like they'll just come and start showing you pictures of their bike. Like, look it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not my style, man. But you're like, oh yeah, it's great. Like,
Yeah, I got caught in the elevator yesterday with my helmet. In
like
my
that
hand.
guy was so proud just now to tell us.
Oh
"You're
yeah,
an 04 Road King, brother.
free tits.
Fucking rips. Did over 80 miles an hour for 10 minutes last year. It was wild as shit.
We're just all a bunch of bullies. That's why.
Maybe it is, but like I don't be like, oh, you have a
What
bike.
do you-
Look at mine. It's
what do
like,
you
well,
think-
that's kind of braggy.
What do you think? What do you think it might be like for us though? I mean, granted, like that guy's not that much older than us. Or at least,
Well, I mean, shit.
I mean, he's probably your
Probably-
age.
Probably the same age. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
I don't know about that. He probably had a couple of years on me.
what? I mean, like,
Do I look that old?
no.
Not at all.
Let's just
Yeah.
keep going, Como.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't
I would
answer that question
Yeah,
in
it's
front
like
of
you
you.
asking me, do you look skinny? You're fucked up.
Yeah, like I wonder how it's gonna be for us, like when we get old, and are we gonna like the evolution of motorcycling? Like when performance baggers and all these STs and all STDs, and when all this shit kind of morphs into whatever it's gonna be in a couple years. What if it's just like not fun? What if it's not? It doesn't work, and so we're the guys still riding these bikes
think
that
what's
aren't
gonna
trendy
happen is-
anymore.
What we're doing right now, kind of just like sneaking off and doing stuff. I think it's gonna be a lot more than that when we get older, and just like to do our own thing and not make it such an event.
Yeah.
For like, because I think that is one day gonna get old. Where we're like, man, I just don't want to rage. I just want to go hang out with a couple friends and do a little thing. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think what we're like is going to change. I think we're just going to do it different.
Well, I mean that's us, but
Yeah, but the
what-
bikes may change, or the
the
the styles may change.
Oh yeah, and then the new style is going to be something we don't
and
like.
I don't know. I think we are keeping that from happening by talking about it some. You can't be afraid of change. It's coming one way
Oh,
or
yeah.
the other, whether you are or you aren't. So, I mean, I'm excited for change.
You just we just hope that the change is in a good direction.
You
know
hope
what I'm
you
saying?
hope so, but I mean, any of the people that I've met, and a lot of them are. I know I'm older. I'm 50, but a lot of the people are younger people. I mean, we meet. I mean, even this weekend, that met a lot of younger people, and that are doing different than we do it.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the Honda Davidson guy. Shout out to you, fella. But
Fella.
if you don't have if your username isn't Honda Davidson by tomorrow,
Yeah.
but
Hit up Big Trouble, he'll sell it to you.
is that your style?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but I mean, I'm good with it. I like that people are trying different things, and we're seeing a whole bunch of different builds and ways to do shit. And people putting weird motors and Pan Ams and other shit. I don't have a problem with it. I like to.
I wonder what the cool thing's gonna be in 50 years when it comes to Harleys.
I mean, I would
probably
assume
won't
they'll
be
be
around.
electric.
Yeah, remember.
I'm
I'm reminiscing about owning one.
Yeah,
That's gonna be the cool thing.
We're gonna be those guys showing our fucking T-barred baggers to some kid that rides a fucking Tron bike.
Yep. Some
Yeah.
kid that walks into your garage and sees your bike and is like, "This buster ass shit."
Look at all this metal. Ours is composites, brother.
we'll be bragging about our M8 choppers.
Yeah. Listen here, faggot. Sit down. Ah, fuck, I did it again.
Like 2 hours in or something.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's gotta be weird. Like the sentimental side of me is like, man, like, you know, that old man or that dude might have some really rad stories, some really rad things that he could share with us, but the dynamic from how he approaches us and talks and how we respond is different. Like he shows up and just automatically assumes that everybody's gonna think his shit's cool, and that's kind of a old man flex that I kind of wish that I had, that kind of bravado or fucking like balls to be like, hey, check this out, it's badass. And I'm like, I'm more like, hey man, here's mine, I think it's cool, what do you think? You know what I mean? So it's just a different kind of approach. Like it's weird.
Well, I think the weird thing is I mean, none of us are. I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but none of us are that guy that just was here, free titties and.
Well, not yet. I mean,
Well,
it's like
I mean,
about 55.
Yeah, maybe in 5 years I'll have a Boston accent, but I don't think any of us are like that. So,
Yeah.
so there's always room for new shit. I'm
Yeah.
down for new shit. You know.
I'm down for it too.
That guy, he whatever the fuck he was riding, he likes it. So
Yeah.
if he likes it, I like it. There's just we don't have that same weird ass. Not weird, but you know the hell yeah brother attitude. We have a different way of doing it.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like he's that guy, and we're just sitting here judging the fuck out of this guy.
No, I mean like I said, if he
2-second
likes
conversation. But
if he likes his bike,
Yeah.
then I like his bike. If he's passionate about his jams, then
Yeah.
I like it for him. And that's the way I feel about everybody's bikes, you know.
yeah,
It might not.
hey, you've always done a good job, except for that time you pulled your nuts out and put it on that beast.
Well, that bike in particular, though, that was what was a Valkyrie or?
it was.
I tell you what, that fucking seat was comfortable.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's a different one, but that's probably the one thing that is you know, it's the same issue why we don't really go to Strokers Dallas in Dallas as much. You know, even though that was a badass bar for our pre-party for Born Free, and Rick's a great host. Somebody singing out there?
Did he get pissed at all about the little
No, he
impromptu
was
stunt show at the end?
he was cool with that because it was in the street. He just didn't want
Yeah.
his parking lot all
I
scarred
saw him
up.
waving everybody out of there.
Yo,
I was
well,
like, I hope he didn't get like mad about it.
Nah, he was good. But, you know, some of the crowd that shows up to that bar regularly, like our crowd acting the way too much more off from what. Obviously, we're not going to be the way that we are at
Down south.
down south or at the end of a camp or late in the night of a camp out, right? But, you know, it's just like it's generational gaps, right? In motorcycling, and they just don't always click together as well because, you know, and then you got the demeanor of that individual man and how he communicates that also makes that difficult to bridge the gap. And
Yeah.
you get opposition, or you just don't fuck with that dude, or you don't like his vibe, or
Right.
he don't like your vibe. I mean, it's just it's a clusterfuck of psychology is what that is. You know what I mean? Y'all still awake on that one?
Hello. Hello.
But well, like I said, I just wanted to knock one of these podcasts out while we're here, and this is pretty fucking relaxing. So
It is.
Yeah, this
Over here
is
yawning.
nice. What's it, 80 degrees right now with a nice breeze?
get the air going through your toes over there.
Oh, yeah.
But we got to get up at 4 a.m. to leave, so you know.
Yeah, we got to Uber back to our hotel where the poors live.
Well, you don't want to have to do what I'm doing to be able to stay here. So.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I already stretched it out with my trophy, though. I thought.
Well, yeah, I've been stretching. I've been practicing for a year. So, all right. Well, hey, thanks for real. Thanks for making this podcast happen. I'm glad we did it here because, yeah, this will be an experience. I'll definitely be talking about what it was like sitting here on a beach, talking about motorcycles and vegetation.
Right.
All right,
This is the first rooster podcast we had.
dude. If we had a rooster here, that'd be even sicker.
I'm sure there is.
All right. I had such a good time out in Key West, and I want to thank Mark, Big Trouble, for all the hospitality and making that whole trip possible for me. And Craig and Steve, want to thank them for coming down too and making that whole experience something really memorable. And finally found something in Florida I really like. I wish Daytona took place in Key West. That'd be a much better experience. But yeah, this whole down south campout trip was such a much better time, and that's only based on the rain. And it sucks when weather can really dampen the mood on an event. But I'm glad I stuck it out, came back to the down south campout, and had a fucking blast. So if you missed it, if you chose another event, joke's on you. It was a great time, seriously. I want to thank you guys for listening to these podcasts, man. It means a lot to me. And we're kind of wrapping up the year now. I got about 6 or 7 episodes before we hit 300, and I'm trying to find out something special to do. I was going to try to reach out to somebody that's way above my pay grade to get on this podcast and see if I can make something happen. But, keep me in your prayers with that. If you guys do enjoy this, please check out our Patreon. There's a link to it in the description, patreon.com/FastLifeGarage, where you can donate. We will be working on some new content for that exclusively, but in the meantime, just know that you're helping out this podcast, helping us bring on new guests, helping us get out to new guests, and helping us just build this whole community. So also don't forget about our sponsors. We got some great ones: Arlen Ness, Thunder Max, Lucky Dave's, Lexin, and of course Simpson motorcycle helmets. And these guys always have been supporting me, and they have great products that you really should be checking out for your bike. So yeah, we got a live coming out this Friday here in the studio. We're gonna have Chuck and Z from the YouTube channel. I'm pretty excited to talk to them, and we'll be here in the studio talking it up. So we'll see you guys on Friday live on our YouTube. Until then, peace.